NHL trade deadline has come and passed. Who made the biggest waves? Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Pucked Up Podcast. I am Chris, here to take you on this spiritual journey of trades, and more trades. And joined with me on this ride are two of my favorite ladies, Dee and Danger.
That's us.
That's me.
Now, it has been a couple weeks since we have posted. We apologize. Lives have been had, and injuries have been had. And really bad days have been had.
And sicknesses,
So,
yeah.
We've all been
Fair.
kind of a mess. Like,
It's been doing the thing, yeah.
Yeah. Life has been lifing.
Lifing,
for all
or
of us,
something
that's
along
for
the
sure.
lines of whatever that is.
Yeah.
Trying to kill us also is fair.
For real.
At least for
Right.
some of us.
Chris was the one in the most danger of being deaded.
Dude, I almost tore, like, both of my fucking pec muscles right off of my sternum.
Dude, that recovery would have been a bitch.
Oh my god, I would have hated my life. Like, do not
Yeah.
expect me to be anywhere doing anything for months.
Right?
And so I would have gotten workers' comp because it would have it happened at work, so
Yeah.
Right.
that would have been nice.
Which at least
That
that
would've
would have
been
been nice.
Yeah. Where's Chris? Well, he can't lift his arms. So,
Right. He physically is incapable of doing that.
for real.
It was like episodes of South Park where people would like rip their arms
Body
off.
casts?
Yeah.
Ah, that would suck.
That would suck.
That would suck
Yeah, it
big
would.
time. Yeah, so I'd say let's cut the chit chat and let's jump into it because, like,
Let's go.
the
We have a ton to
PWHL is
talk about.
kind of fucking killing it right now.
Yeah, dude. They are doing an incredible job. I mean, first of all, shout out to the brand Molson. Because they recently, just in time for International Women's Day, released a campaign that basically it moved the player's name from the top of their jersey down to the bottom, because in women's hockey, a lot of players have their hair in ponytails, and so it covers up their name.
Yeah.
So they put their
Mhm.
logo there where the nameplate traditionally is, and the campaign was, "We covered up our names so that you can see theirs." Which I just thought was
Aw.
genius.
That is
And
genius.
really, like, such great marketing. They've gotten such good publicity for it. And then also
Right.
now, the PWHL has a sponsorship/collaboration with Barbie, with Mattel, which is just dope because I don't think we've seen that
Yeah.
much from other teams, in this arena. So they're really sort of building off of that, which is really, really cool. But yeah,
For sure.
they're killing it. Some other things to note around the league, before we get into the 3 stars of the week of the, everything. There was also a number of NHL, PWHL collaborations. On Tuesday, the New York Islanders hosted members of the PWHL New York for the Women's and Sports Night at UBS Arena, and the Winnipeg Jets wore PWHL pins ahead of their Women in Sports game. On Wednesday, members of the Toronto Maple Leafs wore PWHL Toronto jerseys for their walk-ins ahead of the Women's Celebration game. Members of the PWHL New York team were in attendance at the Prudential Center on Thursday, following the New Jersey Devils Gender Equality Night. And then yesterday, the PWHL New York team joined the New York Rangers at Madison Square Garden for a clinic with the Junior Rangers and the team's Women Empowerment Night. Sorry. Also, the PWHL was on the Today Show and other breakfast television shows to talk about the impact. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau visited the PWHL Toronto team at the Mattamy Athletic Center, and he met with Captain Blair Turnbull and Renata Fast. And he was presented with a personalized team jersey with his name and the number 24 on the back. And it was his second visit to a PWHL team this season, following his attendance in Ottawa for the team's January 24th game against Boston. And a pair of PWHL stars made some exciting announcements. The Minnesota captain, Kendall Coyne Schofield, revealed on Thursday that she will voice a character in Disney and Pixar's Inside Out 2, premiering in theaters on June 14th. So dope that we get to see that. And then Boston's Jamie Lee Rattray, wow, that's a mouthful, launched a new line of merchandise that features the tagline, "Women in sport are here to stay." Rattray is the first PWHL player to introduce branded merchandise this season. Um, and then also, Hockey Canada announced on Thursday 23 players named to Canada's national women's team for the 2024 IIHF Women's World Championship. 19 players are on the roster. 19 PWHL players are on the roster. USA Hockey announced on Wednesday that 39 athletes have been invited to attend the 2024 U.S. Women's National Team Evaluation Camp, which will take place in just a couple of weeks here. 13 of those are PWHL players that have been invited as well. So pretty cool that we see that. So let's go ahead and look at the players of the week. Real quick, for the weeks we missed, I'm just going to give you the 3 names. First star was Claire Dalton, second star Dale Watts, and third star Aaron Franklin. And that was for the week of February 19th to the 26th. For the week of February 26th to March 3rd, first star Sarah Nurse, second star Sophie Jacks, third star Renata Fast. So that brings us up to this week, where we have, which is the week of March 4th through March 10th. We have third star Brienne Jenner, a right winger / center for Ottawa. She had a goal and 3 assists in 2 games last week, second only to number 1 star and line mate Katarina Mrazova. Ottawa's captain had 2 multi-point games as her team secured 4 of 6 possible points and moved into 4th place in the standings. Against Minnesota on March 5th, Jenner had 2 assists, her first multi-assist a game of the season. Then against Montreal, Jenner scored the game-opening goal and provided the primary assist on the game winner. Both were power play points. The 32-year-old from Oakville, Ontario, now sits first in assists on her team with 7 and second in scoring with 10. Second star, Kristen Campbell, goalie for Toronto. She made her second appearance on the PWHL's 3 stars list after leading her team to 2 victories. Campbell had a .978 save percentage, a .50 goals against average, and secured her 3rd shutout of the season, the most of any PWHL goaltender. The 26-year-old started her week by backstopping Toronto to a 3-1 win at home against Boston. Then on March 8th, Campbell shut out the first-place Montreal for the second time this season, allowing her team to draw even with them at the top of the standings. The Brandon, Manitoba native now has 11 wins on the season, more than double any other PWHL goaltender. She is also on a personal 10-game win streak, which began on January 20th, while her team has won 9 in a row. First star, Katarina Mrazorova, who put up multi-point efforts in both games last week, is one of the stars of the week for the first time this season. The 31-year-old scored twice against Minnesota on March 5th in her first multi-goal game of the season. One of the goals was scored on the power play, giving her 3 with the advantage this season, second most in the PWHL. Mrazova followed up her performance in Minnesota with 2 more firsts against Montreal on March 10th. Her 3-assist game, a season high in points, was her first multi-assist game this year. 2 assists came by way of her team's league best power play, and one of them set up the game-winning goal, helping propel Ottawa to a 4-2 win that provided 3 crucial points in the standings and drew them even with Boston for 4th place. Mrazova is on a 6-game point streak, which ties her for the longest such streak in PWHL this season. She finished 2 goals and 3 assists last week, which led all PWHL players in scoring, and she now leads Ottawa with 13 points and sits tied for 4th in league scoring. So that is our PWHL news for the week.
Do you know what I love about the Molson thing the most is
What?
that this shows like their level of commitment as a sponsor to this league. Like they don't have to do what they did. They
No.
could have just been like, no. We want our shit visible. No.
Right.
They are
Yeah.
like, we are putting an emphasis on making sure that these women are known. Let their name to make sure that their names on the back of their jerseys that they've worked so hard to get to where they are is shown so they can have a spotlight.
Yeah.
That for me, I think is an amazing thing. Like that's what you want out of a partner like that. And I love to see the NHL and like all these NHL teams, these players just without the league or the teams asking them to, or just rocking PWHL jerseys, which
Right.
also is awesome that the NHL is behind them. So dude,
Oh yeah.
again,
Yeah.
we're gonna keep fluffing this league up because this league deserves to be fluffed up. Like,
Oh, 100%.
Right.
They're
I'm here
killing
for
it.
these
I
women.
mean,
Yeah,
They
yeah.
are.
they also have the Takeover weekend with neutral site games in Detroit and Pittsburgh coming
Yep.
up this coming weekend as well. So they're playing at Little Caesars Arena, which is, we all know, home of the Boston of the Detroit Red Wings. Um, and then they're at PPG Paints Arena, home of the Penguins,
Yeah.
on Sunday. So they're playing like, you know, pretty incredible venues. Are playing NHL level venues. Obviously, they've already played at the Excel. They're going to continue to play at the Excel as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's really, really dope. And also, one thing to note, the PWHL trade deadline is actually this coming Sunday. So
So we're gonna
there
have some
could
stuff to
be
talk
some
about.
movement coming from the PWHL.
So
Yeah.
obviously with the trade deadline, how are we all feeling right now with how our teams did to move on to the end of the season through the deadline? Cuz like we moved a couple
I think we
pieces
hurt
and I
her.
felt like we could have done better, but like
Yeah.
we suck. So we're not going to be a
Yeah.
team that's going to go out and try to get big name players because let's be real, we're not going to
Mhm.
win shit. So it was kind of just
Yeah.
moving
Yeah.
some stuff. I don't know about.
Yeah. I think the Wild could have done worse, and at this point, I don't think they hurt our chances. I was saying, before we started that I was a little sad to see both Deweys go, but and
Mhm.
Maroon. I was sad Maroon is gone. But he was going to be out probably for the rest of the season anyway.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. Could have been better. Could have been a lot worse.
That's fair.
I'm happy with it.
Yeah. I think a lot of our trade decisions were made before we went on a weird little rush. I mean, we shut out the Penguins. I think it was 6-0.
Yeah, so you
Which
guys
is
kind of
always a
kicked the
great
shit
day.
out of them.
Right.
Always a great day in Washington when that happens. And then who do we beat next? I don't think it was the Sens, but we beat someone 4-1. That was a good, tough team. So we went on like a little bit of a run there. Um, and then we lost last night, unfortunately, to the Jets, which was just devastating.
Yeah.
But like, it's just not a good look. But a lot of this obviously happened before then. I think this year our focus was that we're not really going to be cup contenders. If we make it to the playoffs, great. But we're trying to focus on getting some rebuild action going. So I
Yeah.
think the trades that we made were for picks, which I think was probably the right move. I think anytime you get rid of a fan favorite, like we did with Kuzi, which we'll talk about later in trade updates, I think that that's tough for a fan base because he's been with us his entire career in the NHL,
Yeah.
all like 11 or 13 seasons. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Um, but I think he had been making it clear for several years now that he was kind of ready to move on because, unfortunately, he really struggled under Laviolette,
Yeah.
and just hasn't been able to get his feet back under him this season, as much as either us or him wanted to. And
Right.
Right.
obviously, with him entering the player assistance program, there was an issue there. But I think he went to the best team possible in Carolina because his buddy Dmitry Orlov is already there, and I think will be a great support system for him.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
That's
So I think that that's helpful. If they were going to trade him anywhere, I'm glad they traded him somewhere where he has like a built-in best friend, basically,
Right.
because I think that that makes it easier for him and what he's going through just as like a player in general. And then we
Right.
got rid
yeah.
of Joel Edmondson, who hadn't been really producing for us. So it was like no skin off our back. The biggest one was the Anthony Mantha trade to Vegas, which again we'll talk
Right.
about. And that one just took us all by surprise because Mantha had really pulled it around this season.
Yeah. I
And
was
so
gonna
to
say
get
I feel
rid of
like we were all
him,
shocked.
yeah,
Yeah.
to get rid of him to me feels like maybe it was a loner situation or um I don't know, just very strange to say goodbye to him. That was one that's kind of like, why did we do that?
Yeah.
Why are we getting rid
Yeah.
of a
That's
veteran
fair.
who is like not past his peak just yet? Like, I don't know.
Listen. I feel the same way with the people that we got rid of, at least one of them, I was like, well, he's producing. He's like the only player on the
Yeah.
team doing anything. Also, if
Right.
you think your life is bad, we're losing 7-2 to the fucking Blackhawks. So when you think your life is bad,
That's bad. Just remember
it's not.
Anaheim exists.
Yeah.
It's
Anaheim's a
not
little bit worse.
going well. Yeah.
Yeah.
And watch, I bet you we still get fucked out of the fucking draft lottery. Bitches.
I will laugh so bad, Chris.
Oh, I will cry real tears. I will cry big boy
Actual
tears.
Yeah.
Actual fucking real
Fair.
tears.
That's fair.
Kirill Kaprizov has 16 goals with 3 hat tricks in his last 18 games.
Wow.
Only Austin Matthews has done that the same thing since January 19th. And if Kirill can do that again, another hat trick this season, he'll join pretty much Wild royalty at that point. Because not many have done the same type of things. This one was from the 5th, so Kaprizov has notched the 24th multi-goal game of his career, one just shy of Zach Parise for second on the all-time list. So Gaborik has had 41 in 502 games. So
Wow.
41 of those were multi-goal games. Parise has 25 in 558, but Kirill is already at 24 in 258 games. So if he keeps that track going, that's pretty damn good.
Well, his talent level is otherworldly anyway.
Yeah, he
really
he
is one of
like,
the top young players. Like, that kid is a superstar.
Absolutely. And then Saturday, the second period goal, Brock Faber moved his season point total to 37, who passed Marian Gaborik. So Brock was 6 in 31 in 37 games. Gaborik had 18 and 18 in 36 games in 2000-2001, which was the inaugural year. So he is at the third highest single season point total in rookie history for the Minnesota Wild.
That's nuts.
Matt Boldy scored the overtime winner on Sunday to record his 11th career 3-point outing and moved in within 3 of tying Marian Gaborik at 14 for the most by a Minnesota Wild skater before the age of 23. So again,
Nice.
Gaborik,
wow.
20 years ago, had topped these lists.
But Marian Gaborik coming into the league was a fucking,
was huge.
He was a Crosby-level prospect. Like, that's how good everyone expected. And he had an amazing career, so, it's not really like they were wrong.
Ed, he was with us, I think we talked about it on the last show, like 7 or 8 years.
Seasons. I think it was like 7 seasons.
Yeah, it might have been 8 or 9, too, but, like, he spent a good chunk of, especially at the beginning of his career here.
Yeah.
And, Gaborik was just elite company, especially in Wild history, And then just talking about the fuckery that was Sunday's game, against, who did we even play? I don't remember. I was trying to find my calendar, but we had scored the overtime winner with the extra attacker, not due to a delayed penalty. So I was telling these guys, I learned a rule that I was not aware of, but again, it's not one that comes up very often because not many coaches are ballsy enough to pull the goalie in overtime. And apparently if you pull the goalie not for a delayed penalty in overtime and you lose, you get 0 points.
Yeah.
Which not many people, from what I was reading online and stuff, knew that was a thing. So I'm glad I wasn't alone in that.
Yeah. Well, that's like we talked about this before, and I was like, yeah, it's because no one's dumb enough to do that.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. But hey, Haynes, it worked for us. I hope he never does it again, but it worked for us in this one time.
That's a one-timer.
You fucking cash your chips and you leave at that point.
Right, yeah. The last team to score a goal in that kind of scenario was Los Angeles on October 28th, 2017 against Boston. So they were the last ones to do that. But yeah, so what, 7 years
Yeah.
ago was last time somebody pulled a goalie in overtime.
Yeah, that's...
And then, yeah, once we, I don't know when we want to talk about torts, but I have a fun little screenshot about that too.
Yeah, I think we'll do that in the fines and whatnot and
Yeah,
suspensions.
that's fair.
I
But yeah,
did.
so that was the end of my stats for the Wild. I just
I
wanted
did
to
see
share
one
it.
funny thing. Just God, I love Alex Ovechkin so much.
Right.
We played the Oilers tomorrow night, and so a reporter asked him today, "So how do you prepare for a team that has Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl on separate lines?" And his response is, "Well, we have Connor McMichael and Hendrix Lapierre on different lines, so we're good."
That's terrific. That's so funny.
You know?
Legitimately so hilarious, and, like, there's a joke in
What an
the Capitals
OB
fandom that
response.
we think that Connor McMichael is the best Connor Mick in the league, because there's, like, several Connor Micks, but, like,
Right.
clearly
Yeah.
he is not at, McDavid levels, like, we know that, we
That's
think
Right.
it's funny,
so good,
but
though.
apparently Alex Ovechkin is in on this joke now too, so comparing Leon Draisaitl and Connor
That's
McMichael
amazing.
or Connor McDavid to Connor McMichael and Hendrix Lapierre, just so,
Phenomenal.
like, inarguably funny, the best response to a reporter asking that question, hands down.
Like, yeah, yeah, those two are great players, but I was like, all right, but like, I'm here for that level of comedy.
Right,
Right?
like, just being like, I mean, what do you expect players to say? Like, how do you prepare for that? You
You
like, you
just,
prepare for any other game, you know what I mean? You
yeah,
just fucking prepare. Like, what do you want?
for
What do you
real,
expect them to say?
yeah.
So, no, that's the best answer, and I just thought that was hilarious.
That's phenomenal.
They finally released the design for the
Dude,
collab with
so
the Anaheim
dope.
Ducks
Oh,
and
they're
Vans.
beautiful, man.
I
Dude,
want a
I'm
pair.
not a fan of Vans, but they are fucking fire.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
I am here for them.
Yeah,
It
I
is
am so
all a
here for them.
collaboration for the 30th anniversary.
Mhm.
I will put a picture on screen so you guys can see them as well. But yeah, no, like, shout out to Anaheim. This is now the second, like, really cool thing that they've done with a brand.
Yeah.
Like they did the Get Up and
I hope they
Play
do more.
night with the band The Offspring, and they have a bunch of
Yeah.
cool shit on their website. My
Yeah.
cousin is a season ticket holder out there, so I may call her and be like, "Hey, if I send you the money for these shoes, can you buy me a pair?"
Right?
Yeah.
Because, like, it's amazing to have hookups. I'm curious if they're on the website. Alright, I guess I'll
yeah.
just go fuck myself. My computer was like, "Nah, dude,
Dude,
you're not."
the high top purple and teal ones are by far
Those
the
are
best.
sick.
Yeah, those
Those
are
are
my
sick.
favorite too.
Yeah. I
I
agree
like
with what
the
Danger said in our private chat that the black and gold ones
The
are too much
black and
Pens colors.
too much.
Which-
I like the what 83 or 88
the 93.
7 80. Yeah,
Mhm.
8, thank you. I was like
93,
80
yeah.
fucking something.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I like that that's on there. But yeah, they're I personally wouldn't wear them because fuck the Penguins. But
Even though there's no Penguins logoing on and it's all Ducks logoing.
But you can't
Right.
see it
But
because the
you can't
logoing is in
see it.
black. You're just seeing black and yellow sneaks.
Yeah, but I
And
wouldn't
at that
think of
point,
the
that's any team.
Penguins. Yeah, I
Oh,
wouldn't
that is
think of the Penguins.
to
Oh
me
no,
because they're
100%.
our
If I
rival.
saw
That's
somebody
so
wearing
Penguins coded.
yeah. No, like, and you see the purple and green, like even without the logos, like I see those colors and I
And I
think
think of the Anaheim
Ducks. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I had that starter jacket
Yeah.
in those colors.
Right.
And I like
I
the
like
no
the
top.
orange and black and white ones
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
The slides. I'd rock those certainly too.
100%.
Let me see. I don't even think I can buy them anywhere. Oh, I can. Oh, that's it?
How much
They're
are
only
they?
$95?
That's not bad.
No. That's Oh, I'm sorry. They're
That's not bad at
120.
all.
Which
It's
again
still not
isn't
terrible.
No, that's actually really good. These things are fucking how much are the slides? The slip-ons are 95.
That's still not bad.
So I'm buying the shit out of these.
Yeah, I'd buy both
You can
pairs.
get
To be fair,
matching
Those are fire.
matching
yeah.
shoes.
Oh, yeah.
I wish and hope that more teams do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm super excited. So I recently ordered new glasses because I haven't had new glasses in forever. I did not go with any of the ones that I showed you.
Oh no.
Because I went with Pair eyewear, so they're the magnetic
Okay.
toppers. Because I like the versatility, and they have wild toppers. And
Nice.
I'm
That's
gonna rock the
cool.
shit out of those.
That is
And
dope.
a topper with hedgehogs on it, which also made me super happy.
That's really
Um,
cool.
and the toppers are only like $25 a piece. So,
Wow.
you know, I'll definitely be showing those off, even though we aren't sponsored. But they sponsor a ton of
Hey, sponsor us.
TikTokers and stuff. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll buy
maybe
new
we can
glasses
get
if you
away with it,
sponsor us.
right?
I'll go get my
But
eyes
yeah, I'm super
checked.
excited for those to get in.
Yeah, I'll actually go to the eye doctor.
Yeah, even though I
Yeah,
don't
I
really
was
need
really
to, but
thankful my eye doctor sent them the prescription because I didn't have a copy of it like I'm sure I do somewhere, but I have no idea where it
Yeah.
is. And I was like a little bit like, okay, he's probably gonna call me and tell me I have to go in and get a new script. But he didn't. He
Yeah.
sent it in. So I'm super excited
Nice.
he's
about
like,
it.
nah, dude.
He's like, you good, bro? Anyway, but yeah. I love anything with wild stuff on it. But I love
Mhm.
when companies collab with teams. I think that's
Yeah.
just really cool. It's a
Yeah.
great way to support your team.
Well, I mean,
Agreed.
look at Toronto Maple Leafs. I mean, they've had in the past like 10 years working with Justin Bieber. They've worked with Drake and Drake's OVO brand that they've even had a
Mhm.
jersey that they've played in. Like
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is for that, and then seeing Anaheim come together with Vans, which is a very like obviously Southern California home for like the birth of skateboarding. Vans has been around since the beginning. As someone who skated, like that's a huge collaboration.
Yeah, 100%.
So again, as soon as possible, I will be getting my fucking hands on a pair. If I have to call my cousin and be like, "Hey, can you buy me a pair?" and I will pay you back,
Right.
just to make sure I get
Yeah.
them. But they're on
Yeah.
the Anaheim team store, which is sick. So like the ones that
I
are
just
That's
saw
directly
awesome.
that they're only there until the 17th though of this month.
So that's a sad day.
yes.
Yeah.
But I
At
get
least that's
that
what I think I
fucking
saw.
ordered.
Yeah.
I can
I
make it.
believe that's what I just read
Yeah, I can make it work.
because I was just looking at it.
I'm over here like, yo, can I? Yeah, I can.
Can I do
Yeah,
this?
yeah. I don't have to eat
Yeah.
for a week. It's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's alright. My check
I
is basically
really
gone
like
anyway.
ramen.
Right?
Well, I
Yeah.
mean,
Lived off of it in college. What's a little longer?
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
It says remember sales for the second and final drop end March 17th. So act now if you want to snag a pair or 3 from the special collection to wear next season.
Nice.
So I didn't realize that this was a second.
Yeah, I
drop
missed the
of
first
these.
drop.
Yeah, I don't know how we missed that.
It was
But that's cool.
during the past couple weeks when we weren't on.
Oh,
Yeah.
got it.
So yeah.
Right on.
Oh, and it is online
Yeah.
only, Chris.
That's right. I can make it work.
Yeah.
This
And
is
it'll
how
arrive
dedicated
this
of a
summer.
fucking sneakerhead I am.
Yeah. They won't ship until the summer though, unfortunately.
That's fine. I'm not that worried.
Yeah.
As long as they're purchased.
Either
I'm
way,
fine
as
with
long as
that.
you get them, it's like, all right, dude.
Yeah.
go.
Right.
Well, I guess now is the time for us to talk about the big thing that happened over the past week, which was the trade deadline has
Yeah.
come and passed.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of shit that went down.
So
So
true.
do we
Kidding.
want to go over
Yeah.
the past week and a half?
Yeah, let's do it.
So we will start on the 28th of February because that's when the main goodness started happening. But the Dallas Stars acquired Chris Tanev and a goalie prospect, Cole Brady, in a 3-team trade with the Calgary Flames and the New Jersey Devils. The Calgary received defenseman prospect Artem Grushnikov, and Dallas' second-round pick in 2024, as well as a conditional third pick in 2026. New Jersey gets Dallas's fourth-round pick in 2026. I feel like New Jersey got Dallas's. I feel like New Jersey didn't do a good job here.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that's probably why Torts was so pissed. Just kidding, but not really.
I don't understand. I'm like trying to wrap my head around that one. It doesn't make sense. Like, Dallas made out the best. Although no,
Yeah.
Calgary made out pretty decent, but Dallas or New Jersey didn't get shit. New Jersey got one pick. The fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
The 29th, the Toronto Maple Leafs acquire defenseman Ilya Lyubushkin in a 3-team trade with Anaheim Ducks and Carolina Panthers. Anaheim received Toronto's third-round pick in 2025, and Carolina receives Toronto's second-round pick in 2024. Toronto also receives Carolina's prospect Kirill Slepets? But the main part there is Ilya Lyubushkin going to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Who wants to go now?
I'm just laughing at you
Me?
pronouncing things like danger.
I was having a hard time, bro.
I was going to say, it's not as easy as it looks, huh?
No, normally I'm on it.
I
was having a hard time today.
I can take the next two.
Yeah, I was like, who wants to go next?
So then on March 1st, New Jersey Devils acquired defenseman Curtis McDermott from the Avalanche for forward prospect Zakir Bardakov and a 7th-round pick in 2020. At least theirs was for this fucking year. Anyway, for the draft. I like all of the wild picks are for like 2026, and it's like, how? We talked about that last season too. It's like, how does that make sense? Anyway, and then on March 5th, Las Vegas, or the Vegas Golden Knights acquired forward Anthony Mantha from the Washington Capitals for the 2nd-round pick in 2024 and a 4th-round pick in 2026.
Which, as far as picks go, 2nd round is pretty good for this coming draft, and 4th round 2 years from now. I still would have liked to see an actual player come onto our team, but I will say, I guess it does give us an opportunity to use Hershey's players, which they're fucking killing it clearly in the AHL. So not a bad time to promote that talent.
Absolutely.
On March 6th, we had the Florida Panthers acquiring Vladimir Tarasenko from the Ottawa Senators for a conditional 4th-round pick in the 2024 NHL draft and a 3rd-round pick in 2025. Also on March 6th, the Colorado Avalanche acquired defenseman Sean Walker for a 5th-round pick in 2026 from the Philly Flyers for forward Ryan Johansson and a conditional 1st-round pick in 2025.
No, so here's my thing with Tarasenko. It's like, look at what Ottawa's been doing the past year, even starting with the off season. They're slowly understanding that what they were doing wasn't working for them. And you're giving the best team in the league another good player.
Fucking Tarasenko, yeah. I don't know why you're giving to Florida of all places.
To Florida, yeah.
And I mean, they did get a 4th round, but it's a conditional 4th round. So again, we never know what those conditions are.
Yeah, they end up being crazy. You know what else was crazy is literally right after this trade happened, I got the notification for the first blockbuster trade of the deadline. Colorado Avalanche acquire forward Casey Middlestat from the Buffalo Sabres in exchange for defenseman Bowen Byram. This one kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah. Agreed.
It just I was shocked to see them trade Byram. That one kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that either, for sure.
And then the Edmonton Oilers acquire forward Adam Henrique and Sam Carrick, unsigned draft choice goalie Ty Taylor, and a 7th-round pick in 2024 in a 3-team trade to the Anaheim Ducks and Tampa Bay Lightning. Anaheim receives a first-round pick in the 2024 draft, as well as a conditional fifth-round pick at 25 from Edmonton. Tampa Bay receives fourth-round pick in 2026 from Edmonton. Yeah,
A very interesting trade situation.
Yeah.
Right.
Essentially, the only part of this that really matters is between Edmonton and Anaheim.
Yeah.
Because, I was sad to see Henrique go, but
Right.
you know what? It's a cap situation. He's getting older. Take the first-round pick. That's a good move to get a first-round pick.
Yeah.
But again,
Especially because you're going to lose the draft lottery this year.
Yeah, so we're going to
the only
need
way
to
you're
get
getting a
more
first-round
than
pick
one.
anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's next? Who's next?
March 6th, also, the New York Rangers acquired forward Alex Wenberg from the Kraken for a second-round pick in 2024 and a conditional fourth-round pick in 2025.
Yep.
And then
next one's a big one.
Also,
Yeah.
Also on the 6th, Vegas acquired defenseman Noah Hannafin.
Hannafin,
yeah. In a 3-team trade with the Calgary Flames and Philadelphia Flyers, Calgary received a first-round pick in 2025, defenseman Daniil Mirmanoff, and then a conditional third-round pick in 2025. And Philly receives a fifth-round pick in 2024. So that's just a mouthful.
Calgary just is offloading players at this point. Like, I think they understand that their season is over, and dude, Vegas fucking.
But still,
we joked
to
about
give
this.
Hannafin to Vegas, that seems crazy to me. Again,
I know.
In some ways, I get it because what you're getting back, but Calgary got. I mean, first round pick.
Calgary got a first rounder next year, but
and then a fifth round this year, but I don't know. Some of it I don't understand.
This is where we're gonna talk about how Vegas is oh, Mark Stone, you're on long-term IR. Well, let's fill that void.
Right. So kicking off March 7th, we first saw Toronto Maple Leafs get defenseman Joel Edmondson from the Washington Capitals for a third-round pick in this year's draft and a fifth-round pick in next year's draft. I think that that's honestly a really good trade for Edmondson.
Yeah.
He has not been producing for us, so I think that we actually won on that deal. In Toronto, I question what you saw in Joel that was hey, let's give up, again, a third-round pick this year and a fifth round. And none of these are conditional either, so it's just a third and a fifth.
It's just bang, bang.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good... We went out on that one. And then next we saw the Montreal Canadiens acquire forward Jacob Perrault. But I say Perrault.
Yeah.
From the Anaheim Ducks for forward Jan Mysak.
Yeah, Perrault didn't really play much.
Yeah.
He was in San Diego. So
what about Jan Mysak? Mysak.
I think it's Mysak. I don't know much about him. But again, we suck, so it's not like it matters. Yeah, it's a fun name.
True that.
So Edmonton continued to make a little noise as they acquired Troy Stecher and a 7th-round pick in 2024 from the Arizona Coyotes in exchange for a 4th-rounder in 2027.
I mean, I have some words about what Arizona's been doing.
Yeah, who the fuck's the GM in Arizona? Strategy. Because Jesus Christ. Troy Stecher's honestly, a solid player, and you're gonna get a 4th-round pick in 2027, and you give them a pick this year.
It seems like Arizona, despite their weird ability to play really well on the road, Arizona has realized that they're not cup contenders, and so they just have players that they're like, you know what, you shouldn't have to suffer here in Mullet Arena. Why don't you go ahead and go? And they're just getting rid of them. It doesn't seem like they're actually trying to move their fucking team forward or their franchise forward.
No,
it's fucking crazy.
No.
Because there's a couple other that we'll talk about too.
Oh my god, yeah. Also, Colorado Avalanche acquired forward Brandon Duhaime from the Minnesota Wild for a 3rd-round pick in 2026.
And Michael Russo shared a picture of him at his first practice in the Colorado warm-up jersey, and he looks like my heart legitimately broke. He looks so sad.
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with a third rounder in 26. I feel
It
like
seems a little far
Duhame's
away.
That's what
Duhame's a player that is worth a little more upfront now.
Correct.
Like a third round pick is good for Duhame. That's a good move. He's a
but
solid
it's so
player
far
that
out.
will. But 2026
Yeah.
feels a little out. I feel like Minnesota.
Yeah, it would have been more
kind
comfortable
of
with
shot
the third
themselves in
round
the foot on that one.
2025.
Right.
I would say
Yeah.
even
was gonna say
2025
this year
is
would
fine.
be ideal. Next
Yeah.
year's great. Yeah.
Yeah. Or like a fifth round
I
in
was
2025, I think
disappointed.
would also be a good trade
Yeah,
because
that's
of its like recency. You know what I mean? Or its
yeah.
closeness.
Although I feel like a fifth round
Yeah.
pick for Duhame feels like a slap in the face to Duhame. I feel like he's better than that and he's worth more.
Yeah.
But 2026 feels like a long
In some
way
ways,
out.
yeah, agreed.
What if we give you a pick in like 2 years?
Right.
Yeah, no, it sounds good.
Yeah.
That's good to me.
Still better than that 2027 pick because that is
Dude, I don't know what the fuck that
wild.
shit is.
Yeah.
Right. So then March 7th, the Colorado Avalanche acquired forward Yakov Trenin,
Yeah.
we'll go with, and the rights to unsigned draft choice defenseman Graham Sword.
Great name.
Yeah, that is a great
Yeah,
name, Sword.
Yeah.
From the Nashville Predators for defenseman Jeremy Hansel and a third round pick in 2025. I don't know anything
that
about
good.
any of those players, so
I think it's decent.
clearly was a good pick. I have no fucking clue.
It's more depth movements, I think. Depth and
Yeah.
younger players. Graham Sword's supposed to be a good talent, so I mean that could be a
Yeah.
good future move for Colorado because they can't keep their core forever.
No.
Right. That's fair. And then the Nashville Predators acquired forward Anthony Beauvillier, we'll say, from the Chicago Blackhawks for a 5th round draft pick in 2024.
Beauvillier is a good
I
player. I think that's going to help
decent.
the Preds.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to help the Preds a lot.
But why is Chicago getting rid of him? Like, aren't they supposed to be rebuilding around their
Because
phenom right now?
I know.
So why are you
Right.
getting rid of Beauvillier? I mean, I guess you're really hoping that this 5th round pick is going
That
to be a
5th round pick
killer.
is going to pay off. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Right.
again, I think that's a little too far-sighted for me. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
future gazing that I'm like, well, what are you going to do in the next 3 fucking years then? Because not everyone
Yeah.
is going to come into the league like what's his face and be playing like this. We don't see rookie talent typically get as much play time.
It doesn't just go
You know what I mean?
the way, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
and this is a
interesting.
great move for Nashville because they're in a wild card spot and they're going to be a playoff team. So like
100%.
it's just, dude, it blows my mind to see Vegas in a wild card position right now.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But yeah, I mean that's a solid move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next, we have Toronto Maple Leafs getting an unsigned draft choice and defenseman Cade Weber from the Carolina Hurricanes in exchange for a 5th round pick in the 2026 draft. Nothing too exciting there. Also, Calgary Flames acquire forward Riley Damiani. Riley Damiani from the Dallas Stars for forward Matthias Emilio Pedersen.
Yes.
Which that's a mouthful. Like, how does that all fit on the back of his stuff?
I know.
That's not also one of those big splashy ones, so.
No.
Good
this
job.
one kind of was though.
Yeah.
The Tampa Bay Lightning acquire forward Anthony Duclair and a 7th round pick in 25 from the San Jose Sharks in exchange for defenseman Jack Thompson and a 3rd round pick in 2024. This is a real good move for Tampa. I didn't really like Anthony Duclair in San Jose. I felt like it didn't fit his play style. And that team has a lot of kinks that need to be worked out before they become any sort of contender. And Duclair's a guy that you want on a team that's good and that's ready.
Yeah.
And this helps that depth for the Lightning, that you have a reliable dude. Anthony Duclair is reliable and he's a great player.
Let's stop giving the Lightning players though.
Well, let's
and stop giving Vegas players.
Yeah, let's not do what the Penguins did in this next one, but the Carolina Hurricanes acquire forward Jake Gensel and defenseman Ty Smith from the Pittsburgh Penguins for forward Michael Bunting, forward prospects Vasily Ponomarev. There we go.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was struggling with that.
Yeah.
And Ville Koivunen, the rights to forward Cruz Lucius, a conditional first-round pick in 24, and a conditional fifth-round pick in 24. So, like...
Can we talk about this? First of all, Jake Gensel, look at how
Yeah.
much you're worth, because that's a fuck ton of shit.
That's,
Yeah.
I just so you
That's
know,
4
Jake.
four players and 2 conditional picks for this year.
Yeah.
2 conditional top 5 picks for this year, plus 4 players. First of all, your worth is fucking through the roof. Second of all, what the fuck is the Penguins organization doing? Splitting up Gensel and Crosby and like,
Yeah.
I know.
he
This
was
is-
integral to that team, and
Mhm.
you're already not a cup contender this year.
Yeah.
So what the fuck are you
But
doing?
you have the pieces to be
Yeah.
a cup contender.
Right.
They are
right.
there. They just
And you gave it up to
something needs
Carolina,
change. So,
which
yeah,
like I love Carolina, so good for them. But like, what?
I don't
What?
understand. I was like, what the... And so we talked before before we started recording. PK Subban a couple days ago went off on
Yeah.
Kyle Dubas
Yeah.
on one of the intermissions for the NHL on TNT.
Yeah.
Bro, he
was like,
he puts his glasses on. He
Guess
goes,
I'm a
yeah.
GM now.
He's like, yeah, I guess you put glasses on. You're
Yeah.
qualified to be a GM. He goes, Kyle Dubas should be embarrassed for himself because Sidney Crosby deserves better than to be on a team that doesn't make the playoffs. And I
Yeah,
agree.
dude.
Like, yes, this is a solid return. Like, it's a decent return. Michael Bunting is a
Yeah.
very reliable player, and depending on the conditions of these picks. But Jake
Yeah.
Gensel, yes, is an integral part of that offense. That they're one of the most consistent first lines, whether they're winning or losing, is Pittsburgh. You always know
Mhm.
it's Crosby, Gensel, and Rust. And
Mhm.
all 3 players can produce just as well as the next.
Yeah.
But, like, I get you're not going to be a playoff team this year, but why the fuck are you sacrificing next year?
Right. That's what I don't
Yeah.
understand. And again, I mean, they are getting some a conditional first round and a conditional 5th round. But
Those could
is
also
that
go
worth
away.
it?
Those
Right.
could also go away.
And is it worth it? Like,
No.
again, it's such a delicate balance between
I don't think it's
veterans and
worth
new
it.
players. And I think getting rid of Gensel, who's going to continue to play in the NHL for a few more years, like he's
Oh my
not
god, yeah, no.
fucking old. You know what I mean? Like, you're giving that up. And I understand that also Ty Smith was in the bundle. So it's not like Jake got all 4 players plus those 2 conditional picks just on his lonesome.
Let's
Ty
be
was a
real,
part of the
he
deal
did,
too,
though.
but let's be real, that's all. Yeah.
Because,
Right.
like, so he has 52 points in 51 games this season. He's got a plus-minus rating of +9. Why the fuck
Right.
are you trading him, Pittsburgh? There was rumors of Crosby possibly being up for grabs, and I was like,
Yeah.
you don't understand the riot that would happen if he traded Sidney Crosby.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Also, one other one that's just quick is the Columbus Blue Jackets acquire goalie Malcolm Subban from the St. Louis Blues for future considerations. Malcolm Subban, he's decent enough goalie. I don't know if he's starting caliber, but he's kind of floated his way around the league a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then March 8th, the Carolina Hurricanes acquired forward Evgeny Kuznetsov. Fuck. Kuznetsov from the Capitals for a 3rd round pick in 2025. I'm not going to be able to ever say it correctly, so
Yeah.
That's fair.
That we talked about it
that
earlier.
one made
how I
me
feel.
sad. Yeah.
Yeah, but
That
I
one,
get it.
it still makes me sad. I do too.
Yeah.
But it still makes me sad.
I will say,
Um,
I think that a 3rd round pick in 2025 is fair for what Kuzi has been able to produce in the past. He's not currently producing
Yeah.
that. So I think that was a respectful trade for them to make. If I understand correctly, I think we are retaining part of his salary as well. It's not in here, but from what I've seen, I think
Yeah.
that's the case. But I mean, Kuzi was one of the reasons why we made our cup run. Like his goal against the Penguins really allowed us to
Right.
achieve greatness. So
Yeah.
he is a playoff performer for sure. He really is able to kick it into overdrive. So I hope that if Carolina goes on a cup run this year, that we'll get to see him produce more.
Yeah.
I mean, they're loading
I hope
up, so
so,
they
too.
loaded up.
I know, right? Also, how
Yeah.
crazy is that going to be with Gensel and Kuz on the same team, like two former rivals with Orlov? Yeah,
and like also Sebastian Aho and Svechnikov.
yeah,
Like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
they're fucking stacked right now.
Jesus.
Shit's wild.
Yeah. And then the Florida Panthers acquired forward Kyle Okposo from Buffalo Sabres for defenseman Cal
Jalen,
Shalen? Sure. And a conditional
Dude.
pick in 2024.
The fucking Sabres traded their captain.
yeah,
Like,
Oh, I-
by
yeah,
no
I
means is
forgot
Kyle
that he was
Okposo good
captain.
anymore. Kyle Okposo's not good anymore. But he's a
Yeah.
good
He's their
dude.
captain.
He's a great leader. And he's been with Buffalo for forever. I'm like, yo, y'all traded your fucking captain.
yeah.
Right.
That's
don't
got to be
know.
pandemonium in the locker room after a trade like that.
Yeah, how do you
Like trading
what
a captain
happens?
is kind of low key wild.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. I saw that and laughed and I was like,
Yeah.
dude, really, Buffalo?
Yeah.
Continuing on March 8th, we have the Anaheim Ducks acquiring forward Ben Myers from the Colorado Avalanche for a 5th-round pick in 2024. Then
I guess.
like they need this.
I guess.
The New York Rangers acquired defenseman Chad Ruedel from Pittsburgh for a 4th-round pick in 2027.
Also,
Yeah.
the fuck are you doing,
What?
Kyle Dubas?
That's what I'm
You
saying.
could've
Like
gotten-
Ruedel is so
Yeah.
good, and you're giving like I mean a 4th-round pick, not bad, but in fucking 2027,
27.
that
Like,
is
that's
forever away, bro.
that's
Yeah.
big for
And you
the
gave
Rangers,
up
though.
fucking you give up Ruedel to the Rangers. That's the last person you need to give that guy to. Because
I
you're
know.
creating a monster in the New York Rangers. You know what I mean? Who you fucking play.
They're
That's what I
in
don't
your division.
understand. Yes.
Although this season he has not been good at all.
Okay,
he has
but a
4
lot of
points in
Pittsburgh
47
hasn't been good at
seasons.
all. So
Yeah,
I
in
can't
47
necessarily
games, it's not been good.
but I can't necessarily be like, oh well, Chad sucks, get rid of him. Because right now Pittsburgh sucks. So
Yeah, but like I feel like this is a solid move depth-wise for the Rangers because like you throw him
Rangers
fourth
made
line.
out really well.
Yeah, if you put him fourth line, you're golden.
Yeah. Rangers made out very well on that one. So craziness. Fucking
Yeah.
wild.
I mean, they continue to make moves because the Rangers also acquired forward Nick is it Petan from the Minnesota Wild for forward Turner Elson. I assume he's a prospect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Patan had been up here for a couple of games in the last, year or two, but not a bad player, but not a super great productive player right now.
Yeah.
And the guy we got for him, I forget his name already. I think is currently down in Iowa. Okay.
San Jose Sharks acquire forward Klim Kostin from the Detroit Red Wings for defenseman Radim Semic and a 7th-round pick in 24. I feel like this is purely a cap room thing. I'm pretty sure Kostin's cap hit is big. This is a solid move. I mean, Detroit does need need more defense. And San Jose, well, they're tried.
Just fucking do whatever they want. Yeah.
Right.
They're here.
Yeah. Also, the Winnipeg Jets acquired forward Tyler Toffoli.
Toffoli, yep.
Sure. From the New Jersey Devils for a 3rd-round pick in 2024 and a 2nd-round pick in 2025. That's actually not a bad trade. I don't know much about Tyler, but that's a couple of good draft options. So
I don't understand this trade for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are you trading Tyler Toffoli when y'all aren't that bad. He's got 44 points
Right.
this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're having a bad season, but the
Okay.
Devils aren't a bad team. You're
Yeah.
taking away one of your young, talented guys. Well, I guess he's not really young anymore. Toffoli's like my age, but you're like one of your
Still
veteran presence
relatively young.
guys.
Yeah.
He's still in the prime of his career.
Right.
Um,
Yeah. I mean,
But
I
this
don't
helps
think it's a bad
Winnipeg.
trade. If you are going to
Yeah.
trade to get a third round pick this year and a second round pick next year is not a bad price for Toffoli. I just don't
Yeah,
understand why you're giving him away.
Yeah.
Is
right.
my
And I
thing.
mean, I get it
But it's not an
because
unreasonable trade.
right. I mean, I
Yeah.
get it though in the sense of um Winnipeg because they're second in the Central right now.
Mhm.
They're playoff team. This is going to help them push forward because the Western Conference is just super strong. So,
Yeah.
you know, they're going to
Right.
need all the help they can get, but trading Toffoli didn't make a lot of sense to me.
Agreed.
Yeah. And then the Nashville Predators acquired forward Jason Zucker from Arizona Coyotes for a 6th round pick in 2024.
I like this trade for Nashville. This is another great piece.
Yeah.
Another
It's
great
great
piece.
for Nashville. It's another thing with Arizona that's like you're just giving people away though.
You
huh?
just
Right.
gave away another good
I
piece.
wonder
You're
if
giving
they're
people away.
offloading though because they are moving.
I mean, I wonder that too to an extent, but like that's just an interesting strategy.
It seems, yeah. I don't know if
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Seems interesting.
I wonder too if some of these players, it could be that some of them don't want to move to Utah,
Yeah.
which is in
You know
my
what? Yeah, that's
opinion
fair.
perfectly
absolutely think
fair.
that has
Kinda
to
get
be
it.
certainly a part of it.
Right.
That they're like, yo, I'm tired of being on this suck ass team, Grandpa. Move
Right.
me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's
Like
go hang with the. I don't want to go hang with the
wanna-
Mormons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
still interesting. Great for the Preds, though. Good for you with Zucker. He's going to be helpful.
Right.
And
Yeah,
so
I
we'll
mean,
let you
and
do
we've
the
talked
next
about
one,
Zucker
Danger,
before. I
too.
think he's a little past his prime, but
Yeah.
he, he's still a decent player and he's fun to have around. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that he's like done by any means. Like he's still a solid performing player. And I think this is really
Right.
gonna help
But
the
it's not-
Preds.
he's not as good as he once was.
Well, no,
is what I meant by past his
yeah,
prime.
he's
Like,
definitely
he's
older.
still solid, but he is
Yeah.
just not like he was before. So,
No.
but yeah, it's a fine trade.
Mhm.
Um,
And then you
he's
get the
only
next one, Danger.
32, so he's not that much older.
and then, oops, I lost my place. Give me 2 seconds.
It's Patty.
Yeah, and this one made me a little sad, but Boston Bruins acquired Pat Maroon from the Wild for forward Luke Toporowski,
Toporowski, I think.
Yeah,
I don't even
and a
fucking know.
conditional 6th round pick in 2026. Again, for whatever reason, all of our picks are far out there.
This is
But that's fine. Like, I think Luke, if I'm not mistaken, is a younger player. And, hopefully can perform a little bit better than Patty did for us. But,
Mm-hmm.
like, it was
I
fun
get
to
it,
have
though.
Maroon on our team for a while.
Yeah.
I get it because like it's a trade that makes sense for Boston because Pat Maroon is a player that is fit for Boston.
Oh,
like
yeah.
He would fit well in their system.
it makes a lot of sense.
Chris, this will mean something to you. He's from Davenport, Iowa.
Oh no shit, that's dope.
Yeah. That's where one of the wrestlers that we both watch is
Yeah.
from. But yeah, he is 22. Actually shares a birthday with one of my cats and my future stepdaughter. So
That's
you go.
amazing.
right.
Yeah.
I'll always remember his birthday. But
There you go.
yeah, he was signed as a free agent on July 1st of 2023. So
Okay.
but he's played 2 games in Iowa already, has a goal and 2 assists. So
Nice.
that's not bad.
Yeah.
We'll certainly keep him in the system. But yeah, he's 22, so younger guy.
Yeah.
Excited to see what he has in store, though.
Yeah, definitely. Next up, we had Philly getting defenseman Eric Johnson from the Buffalo Sabres for a 4th-round pick in 2024. Seems like a good enough transaction to me there.
I mean, it's a nice little move.
I think it's even.
I mean, Eric
yeah.
Johnson's solid.
And a 4th round this year
Yeah.
is pretty decent.
Yeah.
Especially for Philly.
He's just not having a good year,
Um,
though. He's having a real bad fucking year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Bruins acquire defenseman Andrew Peak from the Columbus Blue Jackets for defenseman Jacob Zboril and a 3rd-round pick in the 2027 draft. Again, that pick is a little far out there.
Peak's a
But
young player.
yeah, agreed.
He's a good defenseman, so I think we'll see production. I think he'll fit perfectly with Boston and their defensive style. I think it's going to work well.
Possibly.
The Philadelphia Flyers acquire forward Denis Gurianov from the Nashville Predators for Wade Allison. I mean, that's a pretty heads-up move.
Yeah.
I don't see a huge issue with that. Florida Panthers acquire goalie Magnus Hellberg, which is a fantastic name, from
Great
the
name.
Yeah, it
Pittsburgh
is.
Penguin for goalie Ludovic Weber. Ludovic Weber. And a
Ludovic
conditional
Weber.
7th-round pick in
Yeah,
2025.
Weber.
I think this is a fair move. Prospect goalie.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair.
Fair.
I mean, the next one, I guess, kind of makes a little bit of sense. The New Jersey Devils acquire goalie Jake Allen from the Montreal Canadiens for a conditional 3rd-round pick in 2025. Listen,
I think
Jake
Chris forgot
Allen.
how to count to 2.
Yeah. Yeah. He's done it several times.
Did I?
It's okay.
I'm
Yeah.
just trying to help.
Yeah. That's
We can
fine.
all just do
Yeah.
3 now if we want. I went to public
Yeah.
school. Don't mind me.
Yeah. We've well established that Chris is however
Dumb?
old he is and
Yeah,
doesn't know
I
how
don't
to
know how
fucking
to
read.
Yeah. But no, I like this move for New Jersey because they don't have a goalie and they fucking need one. It's not amazing, but
they have goalies.
it's something.
They have goalies.
Yeah, but they're not
just
useful.
They're
great.
just not
Yeah.
performing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is a good
they
move.
wouldn't be a team
I
without.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Agreed.
fair.
We'll see.
Tampa Bay Lightning acquired defenseman Matt Dumba. Also hurt my soul a little bit. I was very much hoping he'd come back to the Wild, but
Yeah.
so he's with Tampa Bay, and so for Dumba and a 7th-round pick in 2025 from Arizona for a 5th-round pick in 2027. Which is,
Again, what the fuck is Arizona doing?
at
Arizona
least it's
is
not,
tanking.
like, remember last season where it felt like almost every other trade was for a conditional pick? At least these aren't
Yeah.
conditional. Because I remember us talking about, like, what the
Right.
fuck does that even mean? Because it doesn't make any
just-
sense to me.
I don't get it. Like, what the fuck is? I've never seen
what's
a
a
team
conditional
just
pick? If anybody knows out there what a fucking
Well-
conditional pick is, please explain it.
So
to
the
us.
conditional
confused
pick
with-
is that there are sets of conditions that would take
Right.
place
Yeah.
for a team to get it, but they never release
you
what those
don't-
are.
They won't tell you
Yeah.
what
They
they are.
never say
Like,
what they are.
Fucking
No.
tell us
Sometimes
what
they
they
do.
are, so it makes some sense to me, you know?
Yeah. But this trade does not make sense to me because you're
No.
giving up Dumba and a 7th-round pick next year for a 5th-round pick 3 years from now.
3 years. Yeah.
That makes no fucking again, what is Arizona fucking smoking?
Some of that
Whatever
good
whatever
shit,
they
apparently.
can before they
Probably-
go to Mormon
Yeah, I was
territory.
just
They're smoking
gonna
whatever
make
they
that
can.
joke, Chris. Whatever they can before they go to
Yeah.
Utah, man.
Yeah.
They're getting their fill in. And then the Calgary Flames acquired defenseman Nikita Okoyek from San Jose Sharks for a 5th-round pick in 2024. Again, that at least makes sense. It's this draft, at least.
Correct.
You know?
Yeah. I get that. Again,
Yeah.
Calgary is, I think, winning in a lot of regards with
Yeah.
what they're getting. But also,
Go
they're
ahead and read
giving
off-
away a lot. I don't
Absolutely.
know.
Yeah. I don't fucking Calgary, I don't
Yeah.
I'm curious as to what's happening because they're a team that has the ability to be good and be a playoff
Mhm.
contender, but like at the same time, it's just not going right. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm
Yeah.
surprised they didn't trade Jacob Markstrom. Like,
Yeah.
you know, just
Yeah.
to try
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
Just, I
That's
guess,
fair.
you know,
I wouldn't have
throw
been
something
surprised
to the
with
wall,
Markstrom
hope it
gone.
fucking sticks.
Right.
Right.
You go ahead and read one more, because if we do that, then we each get 3 more. So it's like perfectly timed.
Okay. Okay. No, I lost. Okay. Then San Jose Sharks acquired goalie Devin Cooley from the Buffalo Sabres for a 7th round pick in 2025. And like,
Yeah, I
whatever.
guess.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
there are plethora
Yeah.
of fucking goalies that Buffalo's had this year, because everyone's been
100%. Yeah. Next, we saw the Winnipeg Jets acquired defenseman Colin Miller from the New Jersey Devils for a 4th round pick in 2026. Again, that seems
It's a good move. Yeah.
pretty fine, pretty fair.
Colin Miller is a
This
good
next
a good
one-
defenseman. Helps.
Questions about, which we've already addressed that we all have questions about it. The Vegas Golden Knights have acquired forward Tomas Hertl for a 3rd round pick in the 2025 draft and a 3rd round pick in the 2027 draft from the San Jose Sharks in exchange for forward David Edstrom and a 1st round pick next year.
Yeah.
So this deal
What?
wasn't, first of all, this deal wasn't going to happen if Edstrom wasn't involved. He's their number 1 prospect. He's killing it in Sweden right now. This was so out of left field because I didn't even know
Yeah.
Hertl was available.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And he's their best player.
right.
Yeah.
And yeah, they get a 1st round pick next year. It's not a conditional, so that's good for
No,
them.
yeah, they do give up a 2025 first,
But-
which is fine. Why are y'all giving them more picks?
But again,
y'all,
yeah,
you gave them
exactly.
2/3. What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
next year and then 3 years from now. Like, I don't
Dude,
understand.
Tomas Hertl. Let me pull up his stats really fast. Dude, Tomas Hertl has been just. He's got 34 points in 48 games this year. He scored 34 points with the San Jose Sharks. That's
Yeah.
15 goals, 19 assists. He put up those numbers on a team that is so bad. He is easily their
Yeah.
best player. He's a 30 goal scorer. He's done it multiple times in his career. You gave Vegas another weapon.
You gave them firepower this year, and honestly firepower next year as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all you're getting back is firepower and Erdstrom, but you'll have to wait till next year for a 1st round pick. So they can't even play until the 25-26 season.
Yeah.
That's if
And I
they're
mean,
even of a star caliber where they will be playing in their 1st season. Otherwise,
And that's
they're
if
down
Edstrom
in
comes over
ECHL.
right away.
Yeah.
That's if he doesn't stay another year.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of
That
what
doesn't
ifs
make sense
here.
to me. Yep.
And
maybe there is something we don't know about going on in the background. Maybe they talked to Erdstrom and he's like, "No, I'll be in NHL next year." And then
Right.
great, but
maybe
that was my attempt at a Swedish
That was
accent.
a
by the
Swedish
way.
accent.
Let me know how you feel about it in the comments down below.
It was a nightmare.
Yeah.
No, it was the best Swedish accent we've had on this show. So I'm the only one brave enough to try it. So
Woohoo, big summer blowout.
anyway, moving on. We saw that the New York Rangers picked up forward Jack Roslovic from the Columbus Blue Jackets for a conditional 4th round pick in 2026.
So, this trade was not originally supposed to happen because the
Really?
Rangers were supposed to be getting Pavel Buchnevich.
Yeah.
But the deal fell through at the last second. They didn't like the return. So,
they
Roslovic
gave
was
Roslovic.
Yeah, he was on the market. He was available. It happened to go well. A 4th round pick is solid. Roslovic's a decent player. I think it's going to help.
Yeah.
Again, I think it's going to help them in that playoff push. But yeah, this trade wasn't supposed to be the trade that fucking the Rangers made.
Yeah.
I get it though.
Agreed.
Buchnevich, you got to make sure you're giving up enough for someone like him.
Yeah, for Booch.
Oh yeah.
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 The YouTube stream I was watching, the guy was like, everyone pray for Booch in the chat. Let's get some good mojo for the Rangers.
Yeah.
Last couple that happened, we have one that happened well after the deadline. I assumed that the deals
Which I don't know
just
how
didn't.
that.
I
Yeah, it just
assume
didn't get
nothing got
inked.
worked out. But
Yeah.
the Toronto Maple Leafs acquired forward Connor Dewar from the Minnesota Wild for forward Dmitry Ovchinnikov?
Ovechnikov. Ovechnik.
Yeah,
Ovechnik.
Ovechnikov.
Yeah, I said it right the first time.
Ovechnikov.
Ovechnikov.
Yeah.
Ovechnikov? Okay.
Yeah,
And a
Ovechnikov.
fourth round.
there's a lot of letters in the middle.
That's a very Russian name.
Sorry, yeah, it's
Yeah.
Ovchinnikov.
Ovchinnikov, I think.
Yeah.
Ovchinnikov.
Yeah.
Okay,
Look,
Dmitry.
Dima, let us know.
I'm sorry if we're smoking your name,
Yeah.
bro. I feel
Right.
bad. But y'all also get a 4th round pick in 2026. Danger.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Okay. I'm sad to see Dewar go, but again, I think bringing some new life to the team and new players, and Dewar is gonna go places. Like he's a great player, great guy. So, I don't think that he, by any means, is
Yeah.
on the bottom end of that trade. I think
And this is a good move for him to go to a team like Toronto as well, so you can, not to say that the Wild aren't like a good team, but you've got a lot of power and a lot of a veteran presence on the Maple Leafs that I think can help maybe slot him into that system a little better.
Yeah. The hard part with players like Dewar and Duhaime is they kind of felt like they were just starting to find their good stride with the Wild.
Yeah.
And the lines that they were on, so it's sad to see that get broken up and them to go to different teams, but unfortunately that's part of hockey, You
know what else is part of hockey is that the Devils just said fuck it to their whole goaltender situation.
Yeah.
The San Jose Sharks acquire goaltender Vitek Vanacek in a 7th round pick in 2025 from the New Jersey Devils for goalie Kaapo Kähkönen. I like this move a lot. Kähkönen's young, or Kähkönen, I'm sorry.
I like Kaapo.
Kähkönen is young. He's got some upside, and again, it's not, they didn't go out and get like Jacob Markstrom, but they went out and they at least are trying something new. And then the final trade that happened on March 11th, believe it or not, the New Jersey Devils acquire forward Nathan Legare from the Montreal Canadiens for forward Arnaud Durando. Yeah, sure.
I don't understand how that happens after the trade deadline.
So I assume some stuff just didn't go through.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it had to have at least been inked out before the deadline, maybe not signed or whatever.
I'm thinking it must have been like a late signage.
Yeah. Or they were just pounding out the specific details.
And we see this stuff happen at least once a year if something doesn't get put through until a few days later, which is fine as long as it's agreed upon before the deadline. Then they can the league will let people iron stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But I think this will lead us directly into our question of the week. Which is, in your opinion, what was the most shocking trade? And what was the best set of trades for an organization? So, who do you think made out the best? Also, I want to hear who you guys think made out the worst. Danger, let's start with you.
I don't even fucking know.
What was the most shocking trade?
There were several that shocked me. Probably Mantha comes to mind. That one is just out of left field, kind of.
Fair.
I think that's the reaction everyone kind of had there.
Yeah.
Was a little shocking, but that one, not so bad. Duclair and Gensel both surprised me a little bit. As well. As far as who made out the best,
3 teams made a lot of noise.
Yeah. I mean, okay, let me answer who I think was the worst. I think definitely New Jersey and Arizona
Yeah.
were by far
Yeah.
the ones that I
that
was
I
like,
can agree
what the
with.
fuck are you doing?
Fair.
Toronto also didn't do many great things with it.
Yeah, Toronto's in this weird spot, right? Where it's like
Yeah.
they're a playoff team, but like in the Eastern Conference where you're starting
At
to
what
see teams
cost?
load up is to be quiet at the deadline enough? Like
Yeah.
are you
Yeah.
specifically relying on Austin Matthews? Because that's what it feels like. Like that
Mhm.
Yeah.
team is nothing without Austin Matthews. And like if you don't
Right.
believe me, look at the numbers he's putting up. Like it's insane to say that team would be just as good without him, because they wouldn't. There's no way.
Right.
Correct.
And as far as like who made out the best, honestly, I think Carolina
Yeah.
Mhm.
has got to be at least up there.
Yeah.
Dallas with getting Tanev is a huge thing too.
Chris Tanev, he's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think Carolina probably
That's
made
that's
out
reasonable.
the
That's
best
super
overall.
reasonable.
Mhm.
You know, if I had to pick one.
Yeah. I would say so. Yeah, the most shocking to me was the Gensel trade, hands down. That was the one that I was like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck is happening?"
Yeah.
Like,
I think
genuinely,
I
what the
audibly
fuck?
said "what the fuck" when I
Yeah.
got that alert
Yeah.
on my phone.
Yeah, same. So
Yeah.
that one was the most shocking. There were other shocking trades too, and we've talked about those. Um, I think that um, the Kings didn't do fucking shit.
The Kings didn't do
And
anything.
I think that that's a big mistake on their part. So I think that that's a letdown for them, not because they made a bad trade, but like they made a bad trade by making no trades, if that makes sense.
But I also don't
Yeah.
hate it, because they're in a playoffs position, and what they're doing right now is working. So I mean, I can
But-
understand also why they didn't. Vancouver didn't do
Yeah.
anything either.
I think they could have gotten a little bit more firepower, though. I think that that's what they're missing, is a little bit
Yeah.
more on the goal scoring side of things. So I think one trade to get somebody
They
would've been helpful.
they are really sloppy behind. Well, not really sloppy, but they only
Yeah.
have 20 goals more for than they do against. So
Mhm.
like they need to get a little better on defense as well. And I can
Agreed.
agree with you that not trying to upgrade is I don't want to say it's a bad move,
Yeah.
because again, they could be just, this is what they've got and this is what they're working with. But like, if you want to be a cup contender, you have to like try to put the work in. I mean,
And I feel similarly about Detroit. I feel like that they didn't do anything either. I mean, they obviously had the Simek trade from San Jose, but they
yeah,
are also a team that could use some firepower. They are potentially going to be a cup contender this year, and the only way you're getting that to happen is if you can put additional points on the board, and that's just
well,
not
yeah.
happening.
And like this is the test, right? with
Yeah.
Detroit, because Dylan Larkin's out for a couple weeks. So this
Yeah.
is the test to see what they're made of, because
Yeah.
Detroit has been building, and I think that they've got a really good squad this year. I mean, hell, even adding someone like Patrick Kane has changed the whole dynamic of that team.
Right.
But like
Yeah.
they're losing a lot. They've lost 6 straight.
They are.
So you should be like, hey, maybe there's like, even if we have to go without a couple picks next year, like to understand, hey, we have a
Yeah.
squad now that it's okay that we don't have these, and you try
Yeah.
to go get
Yeah.
somebody. I think that
Right.
that makes a lot of sense too.
And then I think the best trades are hands down Carolina and Vegas. Vegas made some strong moves,
Vegas
some
went
really fucking
off.
strong additions, and Carolina too. I mean, they're putting them. I mean, getting Gensel fucking major. And if they make it deep into the playoffs, Kuzi is going to serve them well. As much as I hate to see him leave my organization, I think he
Yeah.
landed somewhere good. But yeah, those would be the best for me, is Vegas and Carolina.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair. I think the trade that came out of left field for me, the most shocking, was Tomas Hertl being traded from San Jose. I feel like
Yeah.
that was, again, I didn't know he was available. Like
Right.
that
Yeah.
wasn't said anywhere. So I'm questioning on what went down with that. What they're like, hey, I know you guys haven't talked, but like, what if we just,
Yeah.
Right.
I, I feel, I am gonna say that I feel like Anaheim could have done better at the deadline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
There are a lot of teams that could have fucking done better.
Oh yeah, sorry. Arizona also sucked.
Arizona
also very
number
bad.
one.
Toronto didn't do a whole
San
lot,
Jose is another one who just didn't do much worth of a damn, except for offload some players that kind of deserve a little better right now. Anthony Duclair he's gonna do just fine. I'm not worried about him. Tomas Hertl's gonna slot right in, but I think Vegas and Carolina, obviously, because again, Mark Stone is on long-term IR right now and they need to fill that void. I think they did. But also, like, Florida kind of had an underrated move, like getting Vladimir Tarasenko.
Yeah.
For not a lot.
I
like
know.
a not a lot of return for a great player. And you're adding to the number one team in the NHL. Who has they've only been outscored by like 4 teams this season. So all of which are in the top 10.
Yeah. The Kings could have done better too.
I also don't hate Winnipeg's moves. Winnipeg did the smart thing, is they didn't need to go get all these crazy blockbuster players, but like they got pieces that they need to make them better. And I think that's going to be the real significant turning point for them come the playoffs. I think depth is so important for them.
Yeah, Toffoli is a big win for them.
And Toffoli's got a lot of talent. So you're slotting him in. I assume you're going to put him on a line with Scheifele, which will make the most sense. I don't hate getting Colin Miller either. Like, I don't hate that for them. That's a solid move.
Right.
But I think we've found our teams. I also wish Seattle had made some noise.
Seattle let me down a little bit. I think that they could have done way, way better. But I mean,
they have young talent, so I'm not worried about them right now, as opposed to like, oh, they're going to be at the bottom next year. I don't think they are. Matty Beniers is a lot of talent. Jared McCann has a lot of talent. Like they're fine right now. I'm not.
They did
worried.
re-sign Jordan Eberle though, which I was surprised.
Which is a good move. Which is a real good move.
I thought that they were going to trade him to try and get something a little bit better.
I wasn't sure if he was going to re-sign because they were having a rough year. I know he wanted to go back to the Islanders. Like he's discussed that he would love to play there again. But obviously, I feel like it worked out for the better for Seattle. That makes a lot of sense,
Yeah.
Calgary didn't do terrible either, I don't think. I mean, they got a lot of assets to their team though, because they got Andrade Kuzmenko, Joni Jormo, Hunter. Sure, he has a last name. I'm not even going to try it. Artem Garusnikov, Daniil Miramanov, and then a 2024 first-round pick, a 2026 first-round pick, a 2024 second-round pick, a 2024 third-round pick.
Yeah.
Which is a lot for this year's draft. And then 2026 and 2026 conditional third-round pick, and then 2024 conditional fourth-round pick.
But I'm okay with all that, because again, they're in the same situation as Seattle is. Like, they know that they're not going to be a playoff team this year, and they're okay with that. Like, they understand big picture, they need to worry about what happens with Jacob Markstrom. I've heard rumors that he's not re-signing. I don't know, but that's real big. You have to replace one of the best goalies in the NHL. Like,
Yeah.
And the thing on Bleacher Report that I am reading from, it says flat out there still have Markstrom to explore trade opportunities with in the off season. So,
and the same with if they want to trade Jonathan Huberdeau, like,
Right.
And they don't have much firepower left now that like Matthew Kachuk is gone and Johnny
Mhm.
Gaudreau is gone,
Right.
Nazem Kadri's gone. Like all their pieces
Which
aren't there anymore.
remember talking about
Right.
the Goudreau trade in our first ever season? Crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my
In our
God!
first
Oh,
ever Pucked Up season.
yeah, when he
Yeah.
went over to
Yeah.
Columbus in free agency, we were like,
Mhm.
Columbus
Yeah.
is gonna be good, and they were
And then
dog
they
shit,
did dog
and they're
shit, yeah.
still dog
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. Throwback
Yeah.
Oh
to
my
the very beginning
God!
for y'all.
I know, for
Right.
real. If you
Yeah.
guys want to give us your questions of the week, hit us up in the comments, hit us up on our social medias, Discord. We have an email address that
We
you
do
guys can
puckedupodcast@gmail.com.
and we
And
can
also
we'll
remember
put that in there.
remember to answer the question of the week for yourself. Let us know who you think the most unexpected trades were and who you think did the best
Yeah.
and the worst as a team.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
We
absolutely.
would love to
absolutely.
see how right and wrong some of you are.
I thought you were gonna say like how wrong you think we are.
No,
No, it's
because I know
just
that we're right. Everybody else
yeah.
wrong.
Well, clearly.
Also,
Duh.
before we move on, I just want to say that I'm a little shocked that Toronto didn't move on from Ryan Reeves
Oh my God.
A little
because
bit
it
too,
was
yeah.
heavily talked about. Heavily
I was
talked about
expecting
that it was
it,
going to happen.
but I think that they're holding on to him because let's say that they find themselves in the playoff situation. I think that they're wanting to listen. We all know how I feel about Reeves. He talks a lot of shit and he doesn't always
Yeah.
walk his shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in playoff situations, he is somebody that people do look twice at in terms of
Yeah.
Yeah.
he is willing to put himself out of a game in order to fuck another player up. And I think
Absolutely,
Toronto
and
is
to help
realizing
his
that
team.
might be helpful for them in this
Yeah.
playoff go. So I think
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
the only reason why they haven't walked away from him just yet. I think if we get to the summer and they didn't make it into a deep playoff run, I think Reeves is gone.
Yeah.
Also,
No, that's
we
fair.
almost had a blockbuster trade that didn't end up happening. We almost the bromance in Boston almost ended last
Oh my God, the
week.
Swaymark, yeah, and
Linus
Swayman and
Allmark was almost
Yeah.
trade. Well,
Yeah.
Swaymark is
Yeah.
is a cute
It's- it
couple
is-
name for them.
It is, yeah.
I ship Swaymark.
I ship
That's
Swaymark so
awesome.
hard.
That needs to be
Yeah,
a t-shirt.
Swayman and Allmark. Yeah.
But like
No.
Linus Allmark was almost traded last
This
week.
close.
Yeah.
It was
Did
this
you see
close, but
their hug after
it due to geographical
Yeah.
issues.
The
Which
geographical issues are that Linus didn't want to be that far away from Swayman. That's the
Yeah.
geographical issue.
yeah, that's what it
is
was.
that you can't move me from my best friend.
Yeah.
But they had a really cute. They always have their very cute goalie hug. But after it was like
Yeah.
after he cleared trade deadline, you could see Swayman being like, "You're not going anywhere. You're not going
Yeah.
anywhere." And they had just like a really cute moment, and I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I love Reeves."
I know. As
Right.
much as I'm not a Bruins fan, I am
I'm a fan of that
stan
pairing.
of those
Right.
two.
Of
Like that
Swaymark,
is a
yeah.
bromance. Again, we need that as merch ideas right here.
I'm
Yeah.
all
I
in
ship
for
Swaymark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. I love them so much.
But yeah, could you like that's a good that's a good trade right there for anyone because Linus Allmark is one of the top goalies in the league. He won the Vezina last year. Like, come on. The best goalie tandem in the NHL by far is the Bruins. They're both so talented. But yeah,
Right.
I don't know if I could see Linus Allmark wearing any other jersey now. Like he's had his
No.
share of places everywhere else, but now Boston that's where he needs to be, is Boston for sure.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
We have actually we have a goalie and a player from Boston in the 3 stars of the week. D.
Yeah. Let's get there.
I'm
So
gonna run to the bathroom while she reads that quick.
yeah, real quick, don't run too far because I was just going to mention that for the week of February 19th to 25th, Kirill Kaprizov was the first star. Mitchell Marner was the second star. Still can't get used to calling him Mitchell. He's forever Mitch to me. And
Yeah,
Igor
yeah.
Shesterkin was the third star. Okay, now you can leave. I just want to hear you say here Kirill.
Right. And I
got it.
think that's like the third time this season Krill's
He's gotten
been
a
the number
few.
1 star. Yeah. I know I screenshotted it at some point, but that's
Yep.
freaking awesome too. So
Yeah.
love Krill. I can't speak enough good things about that boy.
Mhm.
Like Literally, my grandma always says, she's like, "I wanna just put him in my pocket and take him home and, like,
Right.
love on him like he's one of my grandkids." I'm like, "I'll fucking take him as a cousin, that'd be great," Just 'cause, like, I
Yeah.
wanna hang out with him. He's got such a great, like, laugh and smile, and, like, he just seems like he's a person that brings joy to the room, much like Flurry is.
Mhm.
Um,
Um,
so, yeah.
yeah, for the week of February 26th through March 3rd, we had Roman Yossi as the first star, Brandon Montour as the second, and Josh Morrissey as the third star, which brings us into the 3 stars of the month for February. We had Austin Matthews, center for the Toronto Maple Leafs, as first star, Connor McDavid, second star. Obviously, he's the center for the Edmonton Oilers. And our third star was Igor Shesterkin, goalie for the New York Rangers. So surprising there. It's always a battle between Matthews and David. And so surprising to see who took
Yeah.
that 1-2 punch.
Those are the two best
Um,
players in the league, like.
yeah, 100%. Which leads us fully into this week, which is the week of March 4th through March 10th.
And another
We
top player in the
will
league.
yeah, we will start with our third star, which is someone whose name I love to say, Thatcher Demko, goalie for the Vancouver Canucks. He went 3-0 with a 0.81 goals against average and a .969 save percentage as the Canucks remained atop the Western Conference standings by defeating a trio of conference rivals and holding their playoff berth. Demko stopped 62 of 64 shots last week, beginning with a 23 save effort and a 2-1 overtime win over the LA Kings. They hit the 40 win mark in their 64th game, matching the second fewest contests needed in franchise history. Demko tied his single season career high in wins by turning aside 27 shots in a 3-1 win over the Golden Knights and set a new career mark with his league leading 34th victory in the season and a 5-0 win over the Winnipeg Jets. Demko and Casey DeSmith combined record Vancouver's third shared shutout in franchise history. Demko improved his season record to 34-13-2 with a 2.47 goals against average and a .917 save percentage in 49 games. He ranks first in wins, third in shutouts with 5, and sixth in save percentage with 7th in goals against average. Our second star is Pavel Zacha, a center for the Boston Bruins, which is a name we have not ever said in
I
our
know.
3 stars of the week. So we have a brand new contender this week, which I love when we have that. He shared the NHL lead in goals with 5 goals and 2 assists over 4 games played, highlighted by a pair of game winners as the Bruins earned 7 of 8 possible points and closed the gap behind the President's Trophy leading Florida Panthers to 1 single point. Zacha recorded points in each game, beginning with a pair of goals, including the game winner in a 4-1 win over the Toronto Maple Leafs. He tallied the Bruins' lone goal in a 2-1 overtime loss to the Edmonton Oilers and an assist in a 4-1 win over the Maple Leafs. Boston's second win streak over its division rival, Zacha finished with a 3-point performance in a 5-1 win over the Pittsburgh Penguins. He got the game-winning goal midway through the second frame and notched a third period goal with Pastrnak earning the primary assist. He increased his season totals of 17 goals and 26 assists in 62 games, on pace to eclipse his single season career high of 21 goals set in his debut in 2022-2023. And lastly, our first star of the week is a name we have said before, Nathan MacKinnon, center for the Colorado Avalanche. He led the NHL in assists this week and points, actually. He had 3 goals and 7 assists, extended his home streak to 32 games, and took the lead in the Art Ross Trophy scoring race, helping the Avalanche post a 3-0 homestand. MacKinnon tallied 2 goals and 2 assists in a 5-0 shutout over the Blackhawks, and notched his second consecutive 4-point effort, including 40th goal of the season in a 7-2 win over the Detroit Red Wings. MacKinnon became the 4th player in the Avalanche/Nordiques history to record 3 or more 40-goal campaigns, joining franchise icons Michael Goulet, Joe Sakic, and Peter Stastny. He concluded the week with a pair of assists in a 2-1 overtime win over the Minnesota Wild. MacKinnon owns a share of the third longest home point streak in NHL history with Guy Lafleur. The 2 longest such streaks are owned by Wayne Gretzky. MacKinnon's big week vaulted him into first place in the NHL scoring race with 40 goals, 71 assists, 4 points ahead of Nikita Kucherov. And entering into Tuesday's game at Calgary on a 12-game point streak, it has been more than a month since MacKinnon has been held off from the score sheet. So those are our 3 stars of the week this week. Again, huge shout out to Pavel Zacha for making the 3 stars of the week list for the first time.
Dude, I know. And Zach is a solid player, so it's nice to see him finally have a fucking week where he could pop off, especially on that team when
Yeah.
pasta is kind of all everyone talks about.
Right? Which, I mean, with good reason, pasta's great.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
we also we are also fans of David Pasternak on the Pucked Up podcast.
Yeah. Pasta thinks that Tom Wilson is the best goal scorer of all time.
Oh, is
Quoted
that
as
what he
saying
said?
I mean, he lost a bet and had to say it, but it is what
Oh,
he
that's
said.
amazing. I love it.
Yeah. It recently came out what the bet was over too, and if I remember correctly, it was a beer chugging competition, and Pasta
That
was like, "There's
tracks.
no way I'm fucking beating Tom, or that Tom's beating me." But Tommy Boy did in fact win, and Pasta had to put up or shut up. And I don't
That's
remember what
so funny.
it was that Tom Wilson gave up, but it was something really funny, that was like, yeah, there was no way he was gonna lose that. And the bet was basically, if I lose, I'm gonna make this tweet, and if I win, me and Tom Wilson, because we played in the round robin and against Washington, so if, it happened before the round robin, if I won, I would drop gloves, basically, and I would throw a punch just to knock the shit out of Tommy. So the bet was that if Wilson won, Pasta said that he had to say he was the best goal scorer in the league. If Pasta had won, he would have embarrassed Wilson by winning a fake fight,
That is so
which is
funny.
pretty fucking genius. That's a great bet to have made.
That is so good. But
Yeah.
you know what? Listen, that's this type of stuff that we need to be hearing about, you know?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And according to Pasta, he beat me by a mile. And now
I
every
can
time
imagine.
Tom Wilson scores, I get mentioned all night and my Twitter feed blows up.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's worth it. That's worth it for the fans to take the
100%.
piss out of you for a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm here for that. I'm here for that.
We're going on 4 years of taking the piss out of Pasta for to say that Tom Wilson is the best goal scorer of all time.
Danger. We have some naughty boys and some sad boys to talk about.
Yes. Talking about some bad boys and badder boys. The list is long, my friends. But going back to oh gosh, I don't think we talked about the Morgan Riley.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So for suspensions, we have on March 4th, Martin
Pospisil.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Got suspended for 3 games for boarding Vince Dunn.
That is what he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. That forfeits $12,109.38 of his salary. March 7th, Parker Kelly from the Ottawa Senators was suspended for 2 games for an illegal check to the head of Andreas England.
Mm-hmm.
England? Yeah.
England, yeah.
Like, it's spelled just like England, but with a U instead of an A, and that's fucking my brain up. And that one was forfeits $7,942.71 of his salary. And the big boy, March 9th, John Tortorella, or Torts, as people call him, from the Flyers, got suspended for 2 games for failure to leave the bench area after being assessed a game misconduct for unprofessional conduct directed at officials during a game against the Tampa Bay Lightning. That forfeits $50,000 of his salary. But what I had found, and this is funny, and it's funny, and I don't know how I feel about it at the same time, and I will explain the reasonings for that, but it said the governor of the Flyers and Comcast Spectacor chairman, CEO Dan Hilferetti said he will pay any fine the NHL tries to send John after his ejection last night, quotes, I'm really proud of Torts for standing up for his/our team. This new era of Orange is about having each other's backs. Last night, Torts had our collective backs. I respect any action the league might feel is needed to take, but if it includes a fine, I am paying it. I don't know how I feel about other people paying fines.
I don't like the
If-
message that he's sending, that like, oh, we're gonna have his
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
It's like, all right, well, you can't fucking say what you were saying to the refs and like get away with it. That's
Right.
you can't do
It's-
that.
I respected
Yeah,
it when they
yeah.
did it, when they were going to do it for Marc-Andre Fleury,
Yeah.
because he was
Yeah.
wearing something that like traditionally would have been allowed in any other year before
Right.
Bettman decided to fuck things over. But this is you were
Right.
being disrespectful to an official, regardless of
Yeah.
whether or
Yeah.
not you think you were justified. You were being so disrespectful that they gave you a fucking game misconduct,
They
and then
threw
you
you out of the
refused
game.
to leave the bench.
Yeah.
So I don't think we should be
Um,
promoting that. I
Yeah.
think that that's a
That's
behavioral
precisely.
issue.
typical Philadelphia like behavior.
Precisely.
Hmm.
So yeah, I have a lot of feelings, much like the two of you both said,
Yeah.
on it. But yeah,
I wonder if that's
Um,
why it ended up with a suspension and not a fine, because you can't pay a suspension. He just forfeits
yeah,
50,000. Maybe they'll
that's a
pay
good
him
thought.
$50,000 on the back end, but he's out and there's nothing they can do about it. And so maybe the NHL was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you think you're going to pay off his fine for this?
Maybe. Yeah,
Joke's on
because that
you."
was before
It was before it was
it was
announced. Yeah.
announced. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a really good shout, actually. And like, I mean, fans tried paying for Hartman's fine
Hmm.
when he flipped off Evander Kane. And like Hartman,
Funny.
Hartman was the first one to come out and say, like, I'm not taking, like, I can't, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take fans' money, but instead collected that money because people were just PayPaling him money or Venmo
Yeah.
or whatever.
Hmm.
But then like turn that into something really amazing with a donation to charity.
But that's also such a different situation. Like that's
100%.
player to player.
Oh, 100%.
And you
Like,
have
head
you have
coaches
team officials coming out and basically saying "fuck you" to the league, and that we
Yeah.
don't care
Right.
what you're doing. Is we're
a
we're
head
okay
coach,
with our guy completely ignoring the rules of the league
Yeah.
and and completely disregarding respect
Right.
for a well-respected
Yeah.
league referee. Like it was Wes McCauley who he was saying shit to. And
Oh, it
like,
was?
while
I didn't know
I
that.
respect
McCauley.
John Tortorella as he's a fantastic coach. We love Torts here, homie. You need to
Yeah.
be better than that. You're
Yeah.
a professional coach.
line.
Like you need
I
to be
think-
better than that.
Can you give the refs a little bit of a hard time? Absolutely.
Sure.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
There's a
manner.
line.
I mean,
Yeah.
And if you're getting
look at all
kicked
the
out of a
times
game,
Dean Evanson was
Oh, yeah.
screaming at the refs. Like,
Yeah.
but I mean,
I think the
got
occasional
ejected
"Are
a
you
couple of
fucking
times, but-
blind?" is fine.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's normal. But what he was doing crossed such a line that he got a game misconduct.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's like,
come
I
on,
forget
bro.
which coach it was last year, but we remember trying to see how many times he had said the F word
Yeah.
because we thought that the fine was associated with
Yeah.
that.
Oh, that
and it
was,
very well may have been.
I can't remember where he was, but yeah, that was
I can't
brilliant.
think
We
of
were
who
like
it was.
Yeah.
San Jose,
But
maybe.
like, because that was a pretty big. Yeah, I think it was San
Yeah.
Jose's coach.
don't remember.
But that one was like a pretty big one.
Brilliant.
But that also, like, that to me is funny and fine. Like, that's just losing your cool. Torts
Yeah.
was above and beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, I haven't seen clips of it, but from what I heard,
It's not worth rewatching. Like you just
Yeah.
to save yourself losing respect for John Tortorella, like don't watch it.
that's fair. That's very fair.
Mhm.
But that also brings us to a total of 101 games of suspended time this season, and a total of $1,375,017.42 for that player assistance fund, which we say it all the time, but I genuinely really like that that's at least where the money goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To announce today for a game that happened last night,
Mhm.
New York Rangers forward Matt Rembe, who has been in a lot of people's mouths.
He has been the talk of the league the past couple of weeks
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has been suspended for 4 games without pay for elbowing New Jersey Devils defenseman Jonas Yeah,
Jonah
I never
Siegenthaler.
remember.
Yeah.
Siegenthaler during NHL game 1028. Why does that matter? Anyway.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't think it matters, but
NHL is stupid with that shit.
Right.
sorry.
Rempe will forfeit $17,083.32 of his salary for that. So
Listen, the
And
kid
I
learned a
mean-
hard lesson. He's learning a hard lesson right
was-
now.
he did. I don't
Very
know that
clear.
he's learning
Because
a
it was,
lesson,
well, he's learning a lesson that you can play old school hockey, but the NHL is
Mhm.
going to be like, bro. And that was
At some
very
point,
much so
like-
cut and dry, an illegal hit. Like at some
Oh,
point,
yeah,
this is
no.
what was bound to happen, and I think this is a
Yeah.
good thing for him to say, "Hey, there's a line, and you found it. Don't go over
Right.
that line again."
Like
Right.
there's a time and a place to play old school hockey, and it's not
100%.
in every fucking game that you play in.
yeah, and
Well, and it's
Siegenthaler-
not elbows to the head.
Jesus. Yeah,
Right.
he did,
Yeah.
and
That's the
there
thing.
was controversy like last week. Another very dirty
Yeah.
illegal hit that happened that he didn't even get penalized for. It should have been boarding. It should have been elbowing. It should have been charging. Like it would have been it would have easily been a game misconduct penalty. I
Mhm.
like Matt Rempe. I like what he's doing as a young player, but like, dude, I don't like that shit.
Yeah.
That's you
Yeah.
you are now in the NHL. This isn't the minors anymore. This is where you need to compose yourself. And I think this is a good thing for him. I think he'll learn now, hey, maybe I should tone it down a bit.
I hope he gets the message, honestly, because he's taken shots that don't necessarily need to be taken right now.
And he's
Correct.
aggressive,
In my
and he
opinion.
plays the sport in a physical manner, and I'm here for that. But I
But
agree.
you don't
He's
have
taking
to
too
be-
many illegal shots. Yeah.
He's turning into a Nick Cousins, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I would say, I mean, he got away with like a week and a half before that. Also against the Devils, a hit on Nathan Bastian, which was
Yeah,
also
that's what I was talking
Bastian
about.
being injured.
It was
Yeah.
so blatantly dirty.
It was blatant.
very illegal.
And there was no DOPS
Yeah.
call for that. And I think that that's because around that same time, then he was bringing a lot of media attention for fighting Delorier, for fighting Reeves, for fighting
Yeah.
the other dude.
He fought
He
Martin.
fought like 4 people.
Yeah.
Martin.
I hope. I don't know who gave him the black eye. My assumption is that it was D'Lo.
It was Delorier. Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
And dude, that was a good fight.
tracks.
Delorier hits
I
hard
heard
though.
he
Yeah, bro.
dropped Reeves pretty fast. I haven't watched any of the fights yet.
It wasn't fast, but once he hit,
Okay.
once he connected with
Yeah.
Reeves a couple times, Rempe hits
I mean,
hard.
and this
Yeah.
kid is huge. I mean, he's
He's a
like what,
big fucking
He's
6'7"?
like 6'8".
Like,
He's 6'7".
yeah.
Is he 6'7"?
Yeah.
He's a
6'7",
monster.
241 pounds.
That's a
Yeah,
big boy.
He's a big boy.
He's a big
so then,
boy.
I mean, add skates approximately add 3 inches.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a big fucking dude.
So dude's fucking 7
And
foot
apparently he
He's
thinks
7
it
foot of
adds
ice.
10 inches to his dick size. So, like,
tall. Apparently so.
I mean, it kind of does, I guess.
right? Yeah. Anyway, I don't know what the fuck is going on with the kid, but I did want to try to watch all of his fights from the last few weeks because he was like averaging 1 per game essentially. It was like 4 fights in 3 games or 4 games.
Something like that.
But anyway, moving on to fines. February 20th, Ryan Lomberg from the Panthers got fined $2,083.33 for elbowing Jacob Chikrin. The 24th, Jesperi Kotkaniemi from the
Kotkaniemi.
Hurricanes.
Code Kaniemi.
Sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kokomo is what I'm going to call him.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. That's fair.
Got fined $5,000 for elbowing Joel Hanley. And then fucking coaches kind of went crazy. I guess it's just the 2. And then with Torts, with the suspension. But February 27th, Don Granato from the Sabres got fined $25,000 for unprofessional conduct towards officials. And one can only assume in the same game, Sheldon Keefe from Toronto also got fined $25,000 for unprofessional conduct towards officials.
Yeah.
Same days, I assume they played each other. And
Wow, interesting. So Sheldon Keefe, that's the second year in a row he's gotten fined for
but you know what? He
unprofessional
doesn't have an
conduct.
asterisk by him.
But he's the head coach, so coaches don't get like repeat offender kind of stuff. I don't think.
Okay, that's fair.
But he's the one that last year got fined, and we were like, "How many f-bombs did he drop?" And was the fine a correlation?
Oh, that was
to
him.
that?
Okay,
That was him. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, funny that he would end up in that same position this year.
Right. And then on the 29th, Michael McCarran from the Predators was fined $2,000 for unsportsmanlike conduct against the love of my life in hockey form, Matt Zuccarello. And Matt Zuccarello got fined $2,000 for unsportsmanlike conduct against Michael McCarran.
Yikes.
I wasn't feeling great that day from what I remember, so I did not watch that game. I clearly should have. February 27th, Nick Cousins got fined $2,000. And for those of you that don't know, he plays for the Panthers. For diving / embellishment. Second citation is what is listed here.
Yeah.
And then on the 28th, Oscar Sundquist for St. Louis got fined $2,000 as well for diving and embellishment. Also a second
Interesting
citation for him as well.
I wonder if that was the same
7th,
game.
Charlie. Yeah, it has to be, but well, maybe not because it said date of incidents are two different days.
Different days,
the 27th and 28th.
Huh.
So it's just kind of an interesting thing. But I'm glad to see Cousins getting fined for something.
Yeah.
On March 7th, Charlie Coyle from the Boston Bruins got fined $5,000 for cross-checking Tyler Bertuzzi. Also on the 7th, Evander Kane, who we haven't talked about in a while, was fined $2,500 for unsportsmanlike conduct against Cole Slinger. Which it's so much unsportsmanlike conduct.
There's been a lot of unsportsmanlike, yeah.
Yeah. And then also the 7th, Jake McCabe from Toronto got fined $5,000 for cross-checking Brad Marchand. And this reminds me of a meme I saw, and it was a ton of hockey players from different teams lined up with cash in their hands when it was like, when you find out it'll only cost you $5,000 to cross-check Brad Marchand.
Right.
That's funny.
You're fucking paying that.
Fair. Fair. But yeah, so that's all we have for our bad boys.
For 2019, you son of a bitch. Hockey players are like elephants. They never forget.
Right. And then for injuries, starting with Anaheim, we have Max Jones out with an illness, expected to be out until at least the 14th. All of these guys are expected out until at least March 14th. The next one's Brock McGinn with an upper body injury. He is listed as IR. Trevor Zegras still out with an ankle injury. He is also on IR. And Leo Carlson with a concussion.
Oof.
Like Leo's also had a rough year, bro.
Yeah.
Right. For Arizona, we have Barrett Hayton with a lower body injury, expected to be out until at least March 14th. Shea Weber, ankle injury on IR, expected to be out until September for the rest of the season. For Boston, we have Derek Forbort, undisclosed on IR, expected to be out the rest of the season now, which I think, isn't he the one with the DVTs, the blood clots?
No, that's Frederick Anderson.
No, that's, yeah.
And he's back.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he's back.
So yeah, I know we've talked about Forbort before, but
he's been out a lot this year.
He's had a rough year.
Yeah. Then it hurts my soul to see Patty Maroon on Boston's list, but he is still out with that back injury on IR, expected to be out until at least March 21st. So maybe he'll come back for them. Matthew Courtois out with that shoulder injury on IR, expected to be out until September, so the rest of the season. Excuse me. I felt that coming from the soul. For Buffalo, we have Jack Quinn with a lower body injury on IR, expected to be out until at least March 27th. And he's the only new one there. For Calgary, geez, we had a bunch of these that were updated on the 12th. All but the first 3 here are expected to be out until at least the 14th. So Jacob Markstrom with a lower body injury, Andrei Kuzmenko with an upper body injury, Andrew Magnapane with an illness,
syphilis.
Connor Zary, upper body injury. He is on IR, expected to be out until at least March 18th. They've updated Dylan Dubé, or Dube. He is now expected to be out the rest of the season.
Yeah.
He's, one of those crew ordered to surrender to London, Ontario.
Yeah, if he plays again.
We'll have to see. Clearly, there's a lot more going on if he's out the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Carolina, we have Jack Drury with a lower body injury, expected to be out until at least March 14th. For Chicago, we have Connor Murphy with a groin injury on IR, expected to be out until at least March 19th. For Colorado, we have Arturi Lehkonen with an illness, expected to be out until at least March 13th. Zach Parisi with a lower body injury, expected to be out until at least March 13th. Logan O'Connor with a hip injury for the rest of the season. Gabriel Landeskog out with a knee injury, now on IR, expected to be out until at least May 10th.
But that's big because this has been a 2-year thing with Landeskog.
Yeah, he's been out for a while.
So the fact that he's even got a shot to come back for like the playoffs,
right,
is big.
Right. Yeah, exactly. For Columbus, we have Kirill Marchenko out with an syphilis illness. Out with an illness, expected to be out until at least March 14th. We have Yegor Chinakhov out with an upper body injury, listed as day-to-day. Justin Danforth out with a concussion, expected to be out until at least March 19th. Kent Johnson, what a regular sounding name, out with a shoulder injury on IR, expected to be out until the rest of the season, September. Patrick Laine, personal reasons on IR, expected to be out until at least March 19th.
Long time.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. Oh, Laine's in the player assistance program.
But I feel like he's been there for a while.
He has.
Which I think is why he's expected to be back next week.
Yeah.
I think he went out in January.
For Dallas, we have,
Didn't he go out in January?
I think so.
February.
I think so.
Or January.
Was
it January?
It was January.
Yeah. So hopefully it's coming back soon though.
Yeah.
For Dallas, we have Tyler Seguin.
I
never remember. Sagan. Whatever. Lower body injury is Dallas. I don't care. Expected to be out until at least March 28th. And then Yevgeny Dandanov, lower body injury on IR, expected to be back. Expected to be out until at least March 16th. For Detroit, we have Joseph Valeno with a head injury, listed as day-to-day. Ville Husso out with a lower body injury, expected to be out until at least the 14th. And Dylan Larkin, lower body injury, expected to be out until at least March 19th. For
2 weeks
Florida,
without Larkin. That's why they've lost 6 games straight.
Yeah, that's why. No, actually, Detroit wasn't
it's their best player, so I mean.
Yeah. No, I'm used to Detroit being at the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, I know, now they're actually decent.
Right. For Florida, we have Evan Rodriguez out with a lower body injury, expected to be out until at least March 14th. And then Aaron Ekblad out with a lower body injury, expected to be out until at least March 26th. For Los Angeles, we have Carl Grunstrom, lower body injury, expected to be out until at least March 23rd. And then Victor Arvidsson, lower body injury on IR, expected to be out until at least March 16th. And if I didn't say it, Carl is on IR as well. For Minnesota,
Oh, Carl.
still just, or I shouldn't say still, finally, just Jared Spurgeon. For Montreal, we have Colin White out with an upper body injury on IR, expected to be out until at least March 19th. Chris Weidman out with a back injury on IR, expected to be out until at least March 30th. The rest of them we've talked about before. For Nashville, we have Dante Fabro. Upper body injury expected to be out until at least March 28th. For New Jersey, we have Jonas Siegenthaler out with that upper body injury listed as day-to-day. Jake Allen is out, not injury related, listed as day-to-day. That's the first time I've seen that wording.
I think he's expecting a child.
A
I
kid.
could be
Okay.
wrong. I think that's what it is.
Yeah. Oh, and I know the last time we recorded, I was like so excited because I, was bummed one week that Felina was hurt, and then I was like, oh no, his wife had a baby. Yeah, no, he was hurt anyway, but he's back up. So, and then Michael McLeod, and Cal Foot are part of that crew. They're out the rest of the season, dealing with stuff in Ontario. For New York Islanders, we have Matt Martin, lower body injury listed as day-to-day. Robert Bortuzzo, lower body injury on IR, expected to be out until at least March 14th. And Scott Mayfield, lower body injury on IR, expected to be out until at least April 2nd. For the New York Rangers, we have Jacob Trouba, lower body injury, expected to be out until at least March 23rd. Philip Cheadle. Cheadle, sorry. Cheadle. Okay. Had injury on IR, expected to be out until September, so the rest of the season. And then Blake Wheeler, who we've talked about before, out with that leg injury on IR, expected to be out until at least April 22nd, which I think is the update there. For Ottawa, we have Thomas Chabot, out with a lower body injury, expected to be out until at least March 14th. Zach McEwen, lower body on IR, expected to be out until at least March 14th. Travis Hamonic, lower body injury on IR, expected to be out until at least March 14th. Rourke Cartier, upper body injury, expected to be out until at least March 19th. Josh Norris, I wonder if he's related to Chuck Norris. Shoulder injury on IR, expected to be out until at least September 16th. So the rest of the season there. And then Matthew Highmore. My brain went, yeah, I'd like to get Highmore.
Yeah.
Upper body injury on IR, expected to be out until at least March 14th. For Philly, we have Rasmus Ristolainen, whatever it is.
Ristolainen.
Sure. Upper body injury. I literally, I got an hour of sleep last night, and I slept
Yeah,
for,
but even if with a full night's sleep, you're still like, yeah, fuck you. I don't care. I'm saying it this way.
Yeah, no, because that's one of my favorite names to say, but my brain is just like, nope, I need to go to bed.
Yeah.
Jamie Drysdale, upper body.
Oh, that makes me want to throw up.
On IR, expected to be out until at least March 19th.
I hate it.
Carter Hart out this season. He's a part of that crew as well.
Yeah.
Nick Seeler, lower body injury on IR, expected to be out until at least March 14th. For Pittsburgh, we have Matt Nito, because he's a Nito kind of guy. Anyway, dad joke central here. With a knee injury on IR, expected to be out until at least March 19th. And then Jansen Harkins, hand injury on IR, expected to be out until at least April 1st. For San Jose, we have Jan Rutta, lower body, expected to be out until at least March 14th. Mackenzie Blackwood, groin injury on IR, expected to be out until at least March 14th. Mike Hoffman, upper body, expected to be out until at least March 14th. Logan Couture, groin injury. Wow, two guys with a groin injury. That's strange. On IR, expected to be out the rest of the season. Vitek Vananek, lower body injury on IR, expected to be out until at least April 9th. And then Ty Emberson, lower body on IR, expected to be out until at least March 19th. For Seattle, we have Vince Dunn, upper body, expected to be out until at least March 14th. And Jaden Swartz, upper body injury, and he is listed as day-to-day. For St. Louis, we have Josh Jacobs, which is undisclosed, on IR, expected to be out until at least March 28th. Tampa Bay, we have Eric Cernak, lower body listed as day-to-day. Tanner Janot, lower body on IR, expected to be out until at least March 14th. Logan Brown, undisclosed, on IR, expected to be out until at least March 30th. And then Mikhail Sergachev with a leg injury on IR, expected to be out until at least April 17th, which I think we talked about last time, but my brain didn't register that. For Toronto, we have Mitch. I
hate it. Yeah,
lower body.
Fuck that bullshit.
Yeah, like
It's Mitch.
Don't understand why you try to switch it.
Mitch Marner rolls off the tongue way better than Mitchell Marner.
It really
Marner,
does.
Yeah.
Mitch Marner, bro.
Yeah. So Mitch has a lower body injury, expected to be out until at least March 16th. Mark Giordano.
Giordano, yeah.
Sure. Concussion on IR, expected to be out until at least March 26th. Connor Timmons with an illness on IR, expected to be out until April 17th. And those are the new ones there. For Vancouver, we have Thatcher Demko with a knee injury, expected to be out until at least March 28th. Dakota Joshua, upper body injury on IR, expected to be out until at least March 19th. Tyler Myers, right. Tyler Myers, lower body listed as day-to-day. For Vegas, we have Alec Martinez, lower body on IR, expected to be out until at least April 14th. William Carrier, upper body on IR, expected to be out until at least the 14th. Thomas Hurdle with a knee injury on IR, expected to be out until at least March 25th. Zach Whitecloud, undisclosed. He is listed as day-to-day. Mark Stone, and that's why I keep looking at my phone, was to get to this. CBS says on IR, expected to be out until at least April 18th. But there was an article put out that he is out the rest of the regular season with an lacerated spleen.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's not. I think he took a hit or like a check with a stick. Yeah,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
There's a reason that they went out and fucking loaded up is because Stone's probably not playing the rest of the year. Yeah.
Right.
They're probably having out the rest of the season.
But he also missed the last 39 games last season before their cup run.
Yeah.
So, which it sucks for
I mean,
Mark.
I guess the winning formula for Vegas is no Mark Stone in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
shit.
Just fuck up Stone so he can't join you in the playoffs.
Yeah, maybe that's the only way you win the cup.
Right. For Washington, we have Tom Wilson, upper body injury listed as day-to-day. Nick Dowd, upper body on IR, expected to be out until at least March 13th. Martin
Ferravari.
Yeah.
Sure. Lower body on IR, expected to be out until at least March 13th. And lastly, for Winnipeg, we have Gabriel Velarde, upper body, expected to be out until at least March 15th. Ooh.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
Nice.
Well. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of teams have a lot of injuries.
Right.
Yes.
It's
a lot of trades were injured too, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we want to finish this off with more chaos?
Let's go.
I've been looking forward to finding out about this guy for
the last 3
a
weeks.
Month almost.
Yeah.
Last 3 weeks. This has been teed up. So
yeah, stop edging us, Chris. Jesus Christ.
I know. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to stop, or I'm just gonna keep going because where's the fucking reggae
Yeah.
one? Where did it go? It's like gone now.
That just fucking broke me. I'm not
Oh, I
even
found it.
lying.
Okay. I'm just gonna keep going. So, it is time for our
No, it's not.
favorite segment,
Okay, go ahead.
the obscure NHL player of the week. Don't have to add it in
Good call.
post.
Good call.
This week we have a player. Y'all remember Link Gates? Nah, dude.
Nope.
He ain't got shit on this guy. Our player goes by the name of Tiger Williams. David James Williams was born February 3rd, 1954.
Wait, I thought Tiger was his given name. I didn't realize that he.
No, it's a nickname.
Yeah,
It's
clearly. I was like, how
wish
do you go from David to
Tiger.
Tiger?
Yeah,
I thought it was Tiger, like Tiger Williams. Isn't that
it's an epic ass name.
Like-
but Tiger, like the golf
Like
guy?
Tiger Woods, not.
Oh yeah.
Is
Tiger
that
Woods.
actually? I don't even think Tiger Woods. I don't even think that's his first name either. I think
it
that
is.
was just a nickname.
I think it's his given name, but I'm gonna look it up.
I
no,
feel like it's not.
Eldrick Taunt
Yeah,
Woods.
Yeah,
I was
Okay.
like,
Taunt
I
Woods.
didn't think his real name was Tiger either. I was pretty
know what?
sure that I had heard
Kid
that.
Eldrick.
Tiger
that
is
one
better
makes
than
sense to me.
Eldrick Taunt for sure.
Tiger
Yeah.
is better than Eldrick.
Eldrick
but-
Taunt.
Williams was born in Weyburn, Saskatchewan. He was drafted 31st overall in 1974. Actually, he was drafted to two different leagues in 1974. He was drafted by the Maple Leafs in the NHL draft, as well as 33rd overall in the WHA draft to the Cincinnati Stingers. Okay, well, he's got some, Jesus Christ, fun, I guess, violent tendencies? I want to read after the NHL stuff, which is crazy.
Yeah.
He played from 1974 to 1978, 962 career games in the NHL. 241 goals, 272 assists, total of 513 points. You ready for this? 3,971 career penalty minutes. This man holds multiple records: most career regular season penalty minutes in NHL history, most NHL penalty minutes career including playoffs in NHL history, which is 4,426. He holds the Maple
Wow.
Leafs record for most playoff penalty minutes at 240, most penalty minutes in one season by a left winger in 1978, 351. He holds a record for the Vancouver Canucks, most penalty minutes in the playoffs, 181. Most penalty minutes in one playoff year, 116 in 1982. Most penalty minutes in one playoff series, 51 versus Chicago in 1982. He played for the
Wow.
Maple Leafs, the Canucks, the Red Wings, the Kings, and the Hartford Whalers. This dude.
That's insane.
He wrote a book, an autobiography called Tiger, A Hockey Story in 1984. In 1987, he released a 101-page cookbook called Done Like Dinner, Tiger in the Kitchen. He reemerged briefly in inline hockey as an inline hockey player, appearing in one game, scoring 2 points for the RHI's Vancouver Voodoo in 1993. 1996, Canadian punk rock band the Hanson Brothers spearheaded a campaign.
Punk rock? Okay.
What?
Yeah, to
I would not
agitate for. Yeah,
Yeah.
unless it's a different one.
Yeah.
But
I know all of the words that you're saying, but in the order you're saying them, it makes no
it just doesn't
sense
make
to me.
sense.
Yeah.
They were trying to get a campaign to get him into the Hall of Fame. They included a mail-in postcard with their album Sudden Death so that purchasers could make their feelings known to the NHL. Also, not the
That's
same
amazing.
Hanson brothers.
It's not the same Hanson.
Oh,
No.
okay.
No.
There's Hanson and then there's the Hanson
The
brothers.
Hanson brothers.
Okay.
And they're two very
I
different
was
types
like-
of music.
Yeah.
I was
Okay.
Alright.
confused
I
for a
was gonna say,
second.
like, I mean,
Yeah.
technically
Yeah.
Hanson are the Hanson brothers, but
Yeah.
clearly not. Okay, makes sense.
So he was at the 2002 NHL All-Star Game, a celebrity challenge that he wore they all wore the number 22 in honor of Williams. I know he played in the All-Star Legends game in 2008. In 2018, Williams was charged with sexual assault while on a military trip to Latvia.
Yeah.
These charges were withdrawn by Crown Attorney Megan
Jeez.
Cunningham after he issued an apology. Williams was arrested and charged with one count of uttering a threat to cause death and one count of assault stemming from a April 10th, 2023 incident in Beaver Flat, Saskatchewan. Beaver Flat, Saskatchewan. Police said the other male involved did not sustain injuries or require medical attention. Motherfucker, in 2020, this dude is 70 years old and is being arrested for fucking assault.
Jesus Christ.
Like, I just want to point out, this dude, like, this guy
For
is
assault
notable.
in Canada, right? Like, he still lives in Canada.
This guy still holds a record that I don't think will ever be fucking broken by anyone.
Yeah.
This guy is just insane.
Yeah.
For almost 4,000 career penalty minutes, 4,400 if you combine regular season and playoffs. He never won a Stanley Cup though.
Well,
never won a Stanley Cup.
I mean, when you
So-
spend that
Oh
much time in
God.
the penalty box in only 900 some odd games.
How many-
Yeah.
There are only 9 players in the league history that have 3,000 plus penalty minutes. Here's some names you might know: Craig Berube, Rob Ray, Marty McSorley, Ty Domi.
Okay.
It's like, yeah, here's some players.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane. There are 12 players that have 25 that have between 2,500 and 2,999 notable players.
Wow.
Rick Tocchet, Pat Verbeek, Chris Chelios, and obviously the list goes on. But yeah, this dude is out of his fucking gourd.
Yeah.
And
But
Dave,
I
don't know
think-
if you said this part, but he is the current NHL career leader in penalty minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like
What?
No one's, I mean,
no one's
he
touching.
holds-
nobody's close.
The
No.
top
No.
fucking spot.
Yeah.
No, the next closest person was Dale Hunter, and he had 3,565, and he did it in
But look at the-
1,400 games.
Yeah.
That's what's
the
impressive
difference
in under
games. There's
1,000 fucking games.
There's 500 less games that Tiger Williams played.
He did it in less than
comparison to
1,000
Hunter.
games. That is
Yeah.
fucking insane,
Yeah.
bro. It's nuts. But yeah, that is our player of the week. Shout out to fucking Tiger Williams. That one I
That's
was
insane.
excited to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the perfect way to wrap this up. Thank you guys so much for being here. I apologize for the length, but listen, there's a lot we had to talk about. The trade
Hell
deadline
yeah.
was huge.
Big.
We
Lots
figured
of-
we'd give you guys a little extra because you haven't heard from us in a couple weeks.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
if you guys liked what you saw, please make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube. Hit us up in the comments. Let us know what your thoughts on the trade deadline were, how you feel like your team is doing. I know you're smiling. I know you want to say it. But yeah, let us know
I'm
what you thought of your team's trade deadline. Also, let us know your favorite NHL game cover.
And what your favorite color is.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. You guys happy
Um,
now? You got that in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One
Someone
of the two
has
of
to.
us had to do it. She was holding out on me.
I'm being a good girl. Remember?
You're
I
not,
guess
though.
you're not. Though.
Showing the dark side. We have cookies.
We
I
do
was
have
talking
cookies.
about
Come
edging
back,
earlier
brother.
on, so
You did mention edging,
I did
and I was
mention
like, nah,
You
dude,
did.
we're just gonna
there.
keep edging.
Yeah.
Make sure you follow us on all our socials. Hit us up. We want to hear from you guys.
Yeah.
Anything else before we part, ladies?
Arizona do better.
Do better, yeah. Don't forget
Like,
that the world
actually
is
have
their
a team.
potato.
Yeah.
Yes. And as I like to say, every time that I host, peace, love, pussooter. Thank you all
Pussooter,
so
man.
much, and we will see you mother puckers next week in the face-off circle.